Everybody, welcome to a brand new MMA Roasted podcast. It's me, Adam Hunter. We have Frank Trigg in the house. It's a special podcast. Normally we do one a week. Now we're doing two a week because Frank is here. And we also have Gabe Killian.
What up?
The man who knows all about MMA betting. Always texts me when he wins, never when he loses, and tells me how much I would have won if I were to listen to him. Thanks, Gabe. We also have CB the Grenade.
What's going on, guys?
And we have Joe the Kid Perez. It's a solid lineup. I want to thank our sponsor, American Icon Autographs, AIASE.com. Best sign memorabilia and events. Guys, they have the best signings. I'm telling you, I've been to this guy's warehouse. It's every single celebrity, every single fighter, every single wrestler, anything you can imagine that you want signed, this dude has it. AIASE.com. They also have lots of big events, and they sponsor fighters. So there's good people. Also, I want to thank Tip a Fighter. Fighters are underpaid. Frank Trigg knows this. Okay, however, Tip a Fighter, you can actually tip the fighters yourselves. So, somebody puts on a great performance and you want to show them love, or show us love. Because we're doing the podcast out of my apartment and I got to pay for waters and shit for everybody. So everybody, thank you guys very much for tuning in. Frank, how are you, man? What's going on?
Good. No complaints. Typical work week. Was in LA for a couple of days last week working.
Where were you working?
Lethal Weapon, the television show. And then had to finish up, so yesterday I got hung off a bridge and was in the morgue last week, and then tomorrow I've got my lines and my establishing my character within the show.
So you're on the show. You have a part.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, so you're a stuntman and you're an actor on it?
Yeah. On this episode. Last episode I was doubling an actor. Last time I worked for Lethal Weapon. On 5-0, I'm just basically a stunt guy, and then NCSLA, I stunt act sometimes, and then I have a bunch of other acting gigs on top of it.
Now, is that what, because I noticed like Jay Haran started off as a stunt guy, and then I was watching Daredevil, and he had lines in Daredevil, and then he also was in Luke Cage, he had lines in Luke Cage. Is that what a lot of stunt guys do? They sort of getting good with the cast, getting good with the people, and they go, hey, we need a great fighter or a thug or whatever for this scene. Here you go. Is that how it works?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
All right.
So what they do is they go, hey, look, we have this action scene. We don't want to hire an actor and have to get a stunt double. So we're going to keep the cost down. Especially when you're talking about like Daredevil and Luke Cage and Jessica Jones are all on Netflix. So
right.
They're cheap.
Right.
But I don't want to come off bad-mouthing them, but it's a lower budgeted project, so it's a cheap project. So to keep the cost down, if it's like less than 6 lines total, they usually bring some guy, an actor in that has good acting chops. And Jay's got good acting chops for those shows. Now, he's obviously not going to be doing
Shakespeare in the Park or something.
Yeah, it's not his tonnage, but he's got for like thugs and like bad guys and real rough detective cops and stuff like that. Jay's the perfect character, man, because he knows how to sell it, knows how to hit his mark, and can jump through a window on fire without even blinking an eye.
So what's your kind of typecast? Or do you have a typecast? Or?
No, not really. I get because I'm willing to shave, so I get a lot of CIA agents, a lot of FBI agents, a lot of junior detective kind of character kind of roles, and then with my beard, I'm always playing some kind of either thug or mob enforcer, which is what I'm is kind of what I'm doing on this series, and then playing a lot of bad guys, drug dealers, a lot of meth heads. Like I'm dealing drugs to meth heads, stuff like that. And
that's awesome. Now,
if we're doing military, then I'm like SRS. I'm like Russian, or I'm English. Like I never played an American Special Forces guy. I don't know why.
No, I know for you, like, I know it's a lot of times fighters have a tough time with acting. Same with comics sometimes with acting because we're so used to that instant gratification. Where as a comic, it's like I write a joke, I tell a joke, I get a laugh, boom. Whereas sometimes acting, you're there for 9 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours. You're sort of a lot of downtime. And I remember Rampage on the A-Team was like, acting is gay. That's what he said. And I think that's what he meant by that was like, I don't get to, it's not exciting enough. Is that something that you deal with, or are you just...
Well, funny enough, I was with Rampage at the last Bellator. I was sitting next to him when I was in between my reffing assignments, and the director that directed the A-Team was sitting right next to him. We were talking, and we were going to do a project together sometime this summer. And he, Rampage is like, yeah, we just got to make sure we get it done like 3 or 4 takes and get done, because he doesn't like having to do the same thing over and over again. But you have to understand that there's wide angle close-ups of each individual. Then you have to flip and do it from the other side, and then you've got wide angle from that, and you got close-ups from that. And so it's like sometimes it's like 4 or 5 takes of the same thing. So I was on Kingdom 2 weeks ago, and I was standing inside the cage for 9 hours. just standing there, like because I got to keep redoing the fight over and over again. That's just how it goes.
Were you a fighter on Kingdom?
No, I was a ref. I have an acting role.
Referee.
Yeah, but my role's expanded now. It's not just the referee. Like I have other stuff.
How's Jonas? He seems like a nice guy.
Nick's great. I work with him when he was on Jumanji in Hawaii. I worked with him every day for 6 weeks. So we went and I trained. I was basically his trainer for 6 weeks while he was on.
What'd you do in Jumanji? The movie Jumanji?
Yeah.
Like the
new
it's the remake with The Rock.
The remake of Jumanji?
With The Rock and Jack Black.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then Nick Jonas is on it too.
You're like, nice.
I remember Jumanji like when I was a kid.
Robin Williams,
I was like, how old is Nick Jonas? Like,
the Rock is playing the Robin Williams part?
Yeah. Rock's the lead. Yeah.
And what was your part on that?
Updated. They didn't hire me. It was just funny because they're the head guy. There's a stunt group called Stunts Unlimited, and I'm part of the directory. I'm not a member of the team, but I'm part of the directory, and they're supposed to hire within the directory. So the guy that comes in, the stunt coordinator, he's like on the board of directors for Stunts Unlimited. He gets there and he hires everybody, and then everything's done. All the hiring process is done. Everyone's working because it's a big movie production, so you get everything done early, and you work a long time. About halfway through, I get a quick email apologizing, and I'm like, "What? Like you didn't have to apologize. You don't want to hire me? Whatever." He goes, "No. You're a Stunts Unlimited directory guy. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't know that. If I had known that, I would have found a spot for you." I'm like, "Okay, thanks. I appreciate it. Next time, use me." He's like, "Yeah, 100%. That's our deal. That's what we're supposed to do." And I apologize to you for screwing that up, but I didn't know. Like I should have told you. Like when I met you, but I didn't want to like cross that barrier. So it's fine. So I didn't get Jumanji, but then I'll get another project.
Yeah.
You know?
Back
so
in New York, remember, there was a casting director that just hated me. And sometimes you meet people that just hate you for some reason. Maybe you remind them of a guy that fucked their girlfriend or whatever it is. And he just had a problem with me, which is not the guy that you want picking the part. So I remember I booked this music video. That's back when I was like 21, 22, and I was dancing in the video.
You're playing O-Town?
And basically, and this guy came in, saw me, and I was like, ah, shit! Like I already got booked on it.
Yeah.
And next thing I know, I got called into the producer like, hey, this guy wants you to leave. We're gonna give you $300 just to get out of here. The guy paid me to leave.
Yeah.
I think I was only getting like $200 for the whole day.
Yeah.
like I made money, but I was like, damn. And then actually 2 years later, the guy actually cast me in a video, right? And I was like, he's like, hey man, you're perfect for this. And it was a Jack Black video. Kevin Smith directed it. It was a Stroke 9 video, and in the video, I'm in a boy band, and I get the shit beaten out of me. It was called "Kick Some Ass." So the one
you're in that video.
Kick Some Ass.
That was in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back on the soundtrack.
Yeah, I was the lead boy band member who gets his ass kicked.
Now I got to go watch it again.
Well, what happened was the funny story about that video. So I'm like thinking this is my big break. Every time you do something, you think this is going to be it, especially when you're 21.
Yeah.
And so it was supposed to come out 9/11. Like that was the day it's supposed to drop. I'm like, okay, great. Like 9/10. I'm like, this video's coming out tomorrow. I'm like, what could go wrong? And then like I was like, but I couldn't even get upset. Like I'm not gonna get mad. Like obviously, like 3,000 people died. It's a lot more. I don't give a fuck about my video. But it was like Jesus. Out of all the days,
you're sitting at home like, come on.
And then
just wait till tomorrow.
And then Stroke 9 redid the video of them like fighting the Taliban or something. It was like America. It was all about America. Like they did.
So you still in the video? If I go watch the video?
I'm in the original video, which you could watch on Vimeo. You could see me getting beat up by Kevin Smith and.
But never on TV, huh?
But I don't know. I think it was right when the UFC, right when MTV was stopped playing videos at that point. Like they were just sort of like it was the beginning of the. It's crazy because at the Dime Bar Tuesday nights, it's video night, and they play the videos to hip hop. And it's old school video night, and I sit there for like 3 hours watching videos. It's like the highlight of my week, one of them.
Yeah.
Because I watch all these like Jodeci videos and all this shit that like you just
All for One and freaking
All for One. But it reminds me of like when MTV first came out.
Yeah, it was like there was actually shit on TV.
Well, it was like, I remember as a kid, I was there before MTV, and I think I was like 9 when MTV first came out, and me and my sister would just sit in front of MTV like zombies, and our parents would like, get do something. But because we had never seen anything like this before, and it's a shame though, because I think it really hurt the music business was the end of music videos, because a lot of times you would hear a song and you're like whatever, but when you see the video it's just a whole different experience.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of, I'm a big DJ head, so there's a lot of DJs I'm not sure like who the fuck are they, and then I like look up their one famous song. I'm like, it's just one song. I really want to go see this guy spin for an hour and a half. He's only got one good song out there, and all of a sudden you're watching him spin, and that one video of him, you're like, oh okay, I go watch him now.
Right. By the way, did you watch the new edition On BET?
I didn't see it, no.
It was the greatest thing I've ever seen. I loved it. I watched they made a BET made a docu-series about New Edition.
Is that the one with Bobby Brown?
Yeah.
Is that where we all found out he dropped a bag of Coke on the stage and picked it up?
No, that was after. But I mean, it was amazing. Bobby Brown was like the original Chris Brown, but he was in some ways more talented.
In every way.
Yeah. He was 15. He was the old man of the group. He was banging 24-year-olds. It was awesome.
Yeah. I mean,
everybody
you were doing that too, though.
Not that age. I was late, but yeah.
I mean, when you were in the UFC and you were just running through people in the WEC, right? Before that, it was you were the champ in
WFA.
WFA. Were you going through it? Like, were you just getting tons of puss?
No. I was married, so I couldn't, and Nick was always around, so it wasn't like, you get the here's my phone number, here's my room key all the time. I get that now going to Vegas. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can be a nobody, and it'll happen if you got the right
But I got to
game.
think. Now, what do you think of, I got to ask you, like, what's your thoughts on, like, Conor McGregor?
Man, he's, I bet against him every time because now I'm so far behind that at some point when he loses, I'm going to catch up.
Right.
So it's like I'm at that point. He's legit, man. And the thing is that where Chael Sonnen can talk a good game, and Chael was always good at talking a good game, he couldn't ever back it up. So as a result,
Almost did, but Silva fight, he almost did. The first Silva fight, when he beat him for 4.5 rounds.
This isn't horseshoes and nor is it hand grenades.
Yeah, that's a good point. But
Okay, I'm not that mad. I still lost. It doesn't matter, right? So he talks a good game. He loses a fight, talks another good game, gets another title fight at a weight class above, right? But loses that one. So can't back it up. Conor talks his way into everything and beats the crap out of you. And there's something to that, but he's going to get caught eventually. Everyone gets caught because it's a fight. You're going to get stopped. But he is legit because he's backed it up every single time he says he's going to back it up. And
except for the Nate Diaz fight.
When he lost that one, he came back and he avenged it. Whether you agree with the result or not of the second fight doesn't make a difference.
I agree
What's
with
in the books is that he won, and so he avenged it. And it wasn't like, I'm going to wait, fight a different weight class, and screw around and do something else. He immediately went right after, got back on the horse and beat him up.
Do you think he will box Mayweather? That's going to happen?
No.
I mean, people are saying, because I'm like, what?
Why would Mayweather take the pay cut?
But let's say it goes up to 50 or 100 million.
Why would Mayweather take the pay cut?
100 million is only 4 rounds for Mayweather.
Mayweather makes $200 million whenever he does a show, and it's $100 million on the books, and then he gets another $100 million because he runs the pay-per-view, he owns the promotion, he gets the arena, like it's all him. So with McGregor's whole point of this whole thing is he wants to get into a revenue sharing. Mayweather's not going to revenue share with you. You don't bring him to the table. And he's going to have to carry him for 5 rounds. Mayweather's going to kick the crap out of him. For as good as Conor is right now at boxing and MMA, he's not really good at boxing. Like, he gets in there with a guy that's his livelihood, that's what he does, he's going to beat the shit out of him. And it's going to be a question of when he's going to put him down.
Yeah, and that's what I said, too. That's what I think, too. And at first I was like, why would Conor do it? But then I'm like, wait, if let's say he makes $25 million, that's, what, 8 UFC fights?
The rumor is the last he made was $6 million, but he's only worth $2 million if you check the stats. So it's a question of, did he really make 6 and he had a lot of debt, or is he really only making 2? And that's what it is. So let's cut the difference and we'll call it 4, okay? If he fights for $25 million, that's times 5. Okay, it's times 5 what he normally makes. Of course you're going to try and get it. The real reason why he jumps into it is because now if he's a boxer, he has to be a part of the Muhammad Ali Act. So if you're a boxer, now you have to revenue share with him, because in boxing we revenue share because the Muhammad Ali Act, which is what Randy Couture is trying to get passed right now through the Congress and the Senate, is the Muhammad Ali Act being now incorporating MMA.
Are you for that or against that?
Absolutely for it. Like,
Yeah.
why would anybody be against it? It doesn't make any sense to be against it.
No, but are you for the MMA FA, the union?
Which one?
The one
Which
with-
union? There's 6 of them. Which one? Which one am I for?
Well, I don't know.
Which one are you for? There's 6 of them.
Well, we had what's his name on the podcast who got
Carlos
very angry at
Newton
me.
from the
Carlos
MMA.
Newton.
Is that the one with Bjorn Remney?
No,
No,
that's the
that one.
MMAAA.
So what are they doing? Like what are they actually going to accomplish?
Well, according to them, they want it to.
No, not according to them. What are they actually going to accomplish?
I don't think much.
Nothing at all. They're not going to accomplish anything, because for every Tito is retired, so I can use him. For every Tito Ortiz that makes $300,000 every time he steps inside the cage, there's a freaking John Smith that's going to come in there for half the price and not give a shit because he just wants to be on TV, just wants to be seen on a main event, just wants to be seen by a million fans. For every guy that's down below that's making 8 and 8, there's another guy that would happily take 4 and 4 just to be in the UFC.
It's like stand-up comedy.
So you can't. Okay, it's $50. No, well, okay, then we'll take this other guy. Well, damn it, I need to be there because that one manager is there and the one casting director is there. It's a freaking melee. Like there's nothing.
Well, I mean, according to
Carlos
Newton, I mean, he was saying that he wants it to be more like boxing, where the organization buys the fight. So a guy like Tito or the Ben Askren can fight in the UFC guy, and then the highest bidder
There's
wins.
like almost no organization
Kinda
exclusive.
Like, so its fighters can be all free agents.
Well, how boxing works is that the ABC, ABF, IBO, IBF, WBA, they all own the belts. They own the belts.
I think that's actually kind of ruined the sport.
The promotion is just the promotion, right? They don't own the belt. So the belt you're getting for is you're fighting for the WBO, the WBA, the IBF, or the ABC.
And that's what he wants to do with MMA.
Well, in MMA, that right now, and see, here's the thing that people forget. The UFC has come out and said the belts don't mean anything. Do you remember that whole lawsuit? Oh, our belts don't mean anything, so he can't keep the belt because the belt doesn't mean anything. When BJ Penn left. He won the belt. They didn't give him. They didn't have a contract negotiation in it. They didn't have a premise like they do in the contracts now, where if you're the champ, you have to renegotiate with us. He just walked away and went off and fought Lyoto Machida at 205 in a different organization.
Yeah, and I hate that about the I hate the fact that the rankings don't mean much, and now belts don't mean much because
they control it. They own it.
And 75 interim titles. Because
so you're saying you are the typical fan that knows what's going on but doesn't like either scenario. You're saying boxing got ruined because the promotions don't own the belts, but then you're talking about the promotion owns the belt in MMA.
Yeah,
like, I hate that. They don't. Well, that's what
no,
happens.
You're right. No,
so
you're
it's
right.
one way or the other, and there is no middle ground.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, in a perfect world, I think that UFC pays people more money, and then belts mean something, and ranking means something. I don't even mind having competitive ONE UFCs and Ryzens and Bellator and stuff, as long as. Although it does bother me that, like, Ben Askren, who I think is almost past his prime at this point, will never be able to say I was the number one guy in the world because he got in a fight with Dana White and yada yada. That's, to me, that bothers me.
But that's how the game has worked. Like, if you're not on Dana's good side, and it's funny how guys are like, oh, I want to fight this guy. We'll text people. I'm just text them. I'm going to fight this guy. I'm going to fight this guy. Like, that was the challenge, like just texting Dana, and Dana would text the other guy. Like, hey, do you want to fight? Do you want to fight Adam? Yeah, Trigg said he wants to fight you. Do you want to fight him? Yeah, I want to fight him. Great, be great. Okay, there's the fight. Well, hold on a second. Adam's number 2, ready. His next fight should make him number 1 contender, and Trigg is 25. Why are these guys having a fight? Oh, they got in a beef over the same girl at a bar in Hollywood 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So Trigg's calling him out. You're like, this is stupid. Like,
right.
it doesn't make any sense. Interim belts, what are they? Belt for belt. Max Holloway is an interim belt. He's going to now have to fight for a belt.
What are your thoughts on the whole WME merger? Because I think it's a mistake. I think that when Dana and the Fertittas had it, it wasn't perfect, but you had guys that knew the sport and knew the fans, and at least they were sort of like a checks and balances system. Now when you have people that they just look at numbers, okay, this number, that number, that number, then you get Nick Diaz coming back and fighting Damian Maia for the number 1 title shot. Nick Diaz, as much as I love Nick Diaz, last win was against BJ Penn. Hasn't won in 6 years. Is it fair for him to overjump 5 guys that have been active?
This is hypothetical, right?
This is hypothetical.
Yeah.
But I've heard that
That's the rumor.
Diaz has been offered Maia.
Offered Lawler. He's been offered a
Lawler.
couple. He's turned a couple down, but he's also been
he
offered
turned down either him or Damian Maia turned it down. And then,
no matter what, they always blame Diaz. No matter who turned it down, Diaz turned it down.
And then they offered Masvidal Maia, and Maia said, no, I want my title shot.
And that's what I think Maia should be doing. But, like, to me, like, when you have people that don't know the sport calling the shots, I think in the long-term game is better for Bellator, is better for WSOF or whoever.
I saw a thing today. They made the announcement that the UFC this Saturday is no longer a pay-per-view. It's now a Fox card.
This Saturday?
Is it this? No,
No, UFC, you mean
208?
20.
The Holly Holm.
The chef.
Yeah.
That's not a pay-per-view anymore?
No, it's a Fox card.
The Brooklyn card.
Really?
Yeah.
You heard that?
I think-
That's official?
I gotta. No, I was just up there. Like, this is what's going to happen. They make the announcement that isn't there a fight this weekend?
This weekend it's FS1.
Right.
It's the Houston
the following
card.
week.
Right. Remember, it was originally
it's
supposed
an
to be
awful card.
It was supposed to be a pay-per-view card, and they shifted everything around.
No,
remember?
not this weekend. It's always a fight.
No, it was supposed to. They shifted. Remember, because on the 21st, they were supposed to be a Bellator card here, where Tito and Chael.
Oh, no.
And they were supposed to have a 21st card here.
That card
And then
went
the UFC
to...
canceled. They moved everything
to August.
to Brooklyn.
Yeah,
the August card.
Yeah.
The Anaheim card is now in August, and that 208 it's still on pay-per-view.
It's still
I'm
on
looking at it
okay.
right now.
Okay.
But it's the fall. It's not this Saturday. It's next Saturday.
That's right.
And that's
Okay.
the Holly
They
Holm
should
fight.
make it on Fox because
They
number
should do it on
one,
Fox.
I mean, you're having a 145-pound championship
for a belt that's never been
for
fought
a belt
before.
that never been fought with two girls who don't fight at 145. I mean, you have two girls that most of their fights are at 135, and now you're like, hey, you're fighting for a belt. Holly Holm's on a 2-fight losing streak. Jermaine Durandame, who I love.
Nobody knows that.
No one knows outside of Belgium is not really a draw. And then you're putting on Anderson Silva coming off a loss to Derek Brunson, who looked, much as I like Derek Brunson, in his last fight, I mean, it was like, put my head down. It was a world star fucking fight.
Yeah.
And then you have, and then who else is on that card?
You have Jacare and Tim Boach, which is a Craigslist ad to get Jacare a fight.
Is anybody picking Tim Boach for this fight? I don't think even Tim Boach is picking this fight. I mean, who else is on?
And did you also hear what Dana said about Anderson?
What?
If he beats Brunson, he gets a title shot.
Come on.
I swear, I read it last night at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, how the fuck do you get a title shot off one win?
Because the belts don't mean anything.
No, because of the first Bisping-Anderson fight.
Yeah, Bisping has to get through Yoel
Because
Romero.
I think they're trying to keep Bisping champ for as long as possible because they know that
he said he only has 2 more fights and he's done.
Well, they know Yoel Romero is not going to sell tickets. He doesn't speak English. He's like a hardcore Christian.
Bisping's trying to avoid him, man.
And he's been caught cheating, or maybe caught cheating.
The card is it's decent. You got
Dustin Poirier, Jim Miller.
Glover versus who?
Glover and Jared Cannonier, which is he's not a big name. I think they're throwing Glover a bone. Dustin Poirier, Jim Miller. That's a good lightweight fight. Wilson Hayes is on the card. Nick Lentz is on the card. Ian McCall's on the card.
Yeah, but there's not. I mean,
it's not like a big.
I mean, we're us we'll probably pay for it.
It's a $60 pay per view that's not worth $60.
Oh man, the card has Justin Willis versus Marcin Tybura.
Oh, well, in that case, take my money. But yeah, so Frank, what's your thoughts on the whole WME?
I don't really care. It doesn't make a difference, like who the owners are and who the owners aren't, because the face of the company still is Dana, no matter what's happening. But you're starting to see those subtle changes within the company, which you see in every company. We're not going to know what's going to go on with this place for like a year and a half. Like it's going to take that long to get it wiped out. You know, the thing that sets me off the most is the non-renewal of Goldberg. Like Goldberg and Rogan are like the 1-2 team. Like everyone wants to be that team that's been together for whatever 15 plus years. Then all of a sudden you just don't renew the guy's contract,
and kind of fucked up. Don't give him a send off. Don't give him a.
Oh, that's not fucked up at all. You guys are retards. Like I got an argument with Gorgeous George on what is that, MMA Junkie?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you should have gave him a send off. No, you don't do that. If a guy is retiring, you give him a huge send off. This guy's going to be tired. You give him a huge send off. When you're firing a guy, you don't give him a huge send off. You pack his fucking box. The security guards grab your shit and they escort you out of the building. And that's what they did to Goldberg. Was it right? It doesn't make a difference.
Why are they fighting him?
It doesn't make a difference.
What did he do?
No idea. I've talked to him a couple different times. He's just like, contract negotiations fell down. People speculated that because Rogan makes a lot of money and has a really short schedule, that he wanted to have the same short schedule and a lot of money, but they don't realize that if you look, Goldie has only been on pay-per-views. Rogan is only on pay-per-views, so it's not like you're getting any shorter. You might have 14 or 15 gigs now, you know? But yes, is he on the road for 5 days every time he works? Of course. He has to be there to cut the early promos. He's got to be there to cut the early openings. He's got to watch the weigh-ins. He's got to interview the fighters.
That's a dream job.
You know, he's got to do all this shit. I mean, come on.
There are a lot of people that would like kill for that job.
And Dana said we got somebody. I'm getting my dream team together. I got my dream team together. But your dream team guy is not available until July.
Who's the dream team guy?
Who the hell knows? No one said. Everyone's speculating it's Jim Rome because Rome's job is up in July as well.
Wait, so it's not Todd Grisham?
Who knows? They brought Todd in.
He was doing desk, but from what I heard originally, he was going to replace Goldberg.
Is he an author?
No, he was a WWE announcer.
Yeah, good job, though.
Who's that guy?
Good job, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was going to take Goldberg's spot, but
nobody knows at this point. Dana keeps saying the guy he wants isn't available till July, and Grisham's already there working the desk. So how is he not available till July? You know?
How's the wife doing, by the way?
Jill's doing good. Yeah. She no complaints on her end. She obviously like to make more money and have less hours like everybody else.
What does she do?
She's a manager at Lululemon in Waikiki.
Right. Is it weird hooking up with a girl who's not a dancer? Because I know for a while you were like just the dancers, right? Like
I've never dated a stripper ever in my life.
Really?
Ever. I think maybe I've only banged like 3 in my entire life. Like I don't even like strip clubs.
Oh, I heard you and Baroni used to just,
Somebody lied to you. No, it wasn't me. I don't like going to strip clubs. When somebody goes, "Hey, you want to go to a strip club?" My first question is, "How good is the TV?" And then, "What kind of food do they serve?" Because I really don't give a shit. Yeah, why am I going to pay? Why am I going to pay some girl $60 to gyrate on my lap for 9 minutes? When I can go to a regular club, buy a girl a $10 drink. By the time she's had with her second one, I'm fucking taking her to the car. Like, why would I mess with some strippers? Oh, yeah, baby, I love you the most. It's amazing. Okay, thanks.
I remember last time on the show, you and your wife talked about some of the wild times, like taking girls back. And
yeah, it's not strip clubs. We just do a regular club.
Now, is that still going on? The whole.
We haven't lately. Oahu's a really small island, so you have to be real choosy with who you're going to mess around with because if it gets around real quick. Like everybody that dates anybody, you find out you're literally 2 degrees of separation from everybody else on the island.
Right. And
then when we go back to Vegas, usually we're just seeing the kids and seeing her mom, seeing my mom. And we have no time to do anything. Like this last time we were in Vegas, we were there for a week. My buddy Zach Taylor's moving to Manila, and I didn't even have a chance to go see him. Like to send him off, I couldn't even go. I didn't have any time. I was messing with the kids and hanging out with the in-laws and doing that stuff. I didn't have any time to do anything. And then hanging out when we travel. She travels with me quite a bit, not as much as she used to, but we go to different towns. We go to Seattle or Portland, whatever. We'll find somebody to fall into.
Now, most of the times that I've been involved with threesomes. I always say it's best when you don't know the two girls. Like, it's you and two random girls, or two girls that know each other, and it's just you and them. They take advantage of you, and yada, yada. But a lot of times, one girl is usually hotter than the other one, and then you have to almost give the other one attention. Otherwise, she'll feel left out, and then she'll leave, and then that hot one will be a good friend and leave you. It's a whole thing. You have to kind of be very... But with you, does any jealousy get involved?
No, because it's all about Jill and what she wants, so it doesn't matter to me. I'm a dude. You can freaking if guys get too hung up on it. Like it's just like if you have the right wet hole in the wall, a guy's gonna get off. It doesn't fucking make a difference. So it's like if you're
sex life, go on.
Holes in walls and socks in the shower. Go on. So if you've got the girl you're with, you're like your best friend, the love of your life, and she's with another girl, it's like, who cares? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, why am I getting jealous? It's like, she's happy. I have to do less work.
So, does Jill tell you, like, I want to watch you banging this chick?
No, she won't say it like that, but she'll, there's no verbiage. Like, we're strange because we have, like, a real, because we're always in a lot of loud places, and I'm having a hard time hearing a lot out of my one ear, so it's always, like, ambient noise fucks me up a lot, and I don't really hear things as clear as I used to.
Yeah.
So we have body language and signals and stuff that we give to each other when we're like across the room in a club.
Yeah.
So when we're in a bedroom with somebody else, we're just like signaling each other.
Nice. CB, have you ever had a threesome?
No.
Gabe?
Nope.
Joe? All right, guys.
It's not all it's cracked up to be, guys. It's a lot of fucking work.
You guys are lying. You're lying to people, man. It's a good time. Although with my girl, I would never, because she would get really jealous, start yelling at me and saying, "How come you don't do that to me?" or whatever it is. It'd just be a whole fucking thing,
Well, you might want to get a new girl then if she's yelling at you. If she's going to let you be in a threesome, they're going to yell at you about how you're doing it. Like, what the hell?
She wouldn't let me. And even if she did offer it, I would say no, because I wouldn't want her to feel like inadequate or anything, I mean, your girl's older. She's 60, right? So it's like...
Yeah, she's 60.
No. How old are your girls? I mean, she's more mature. How old? She's 30s, right?
She's like 24.
Your girl's 24?
Yeah.
No, she's not. She's 24 years old?
Yeah.
And you're married?
Yeah.
When
I'm lying. She's 36.
Oh, okay. I was like, fuck,
that's why I see your head explode.
What?
It was close.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. Nothing about you surprises me, ever.
No, I dated the girl before Jill was super young, and that didn't work well.
I think I saw her at Extreme Couture.
Yeah. You've seen her everywhere.
Yeah.
She used to be around me a lot, and then with Jill, it's way better because she's actually more mature and gets what's going on.
Okay. So
who you calling?
We'll call him Rashad Evans.
Oh, God.
Rashad, you and Rashad friends?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rashad's got a fight coming up against Dan Kelly, two-time Olympian in judo. Why is...
You have reached the voicemail box.
See, he does that to me all the time, too. When I interview him for MMA Oddsbreaker, he'll send me the voicemail. Or won't pick up.
Calling you now. Yeah, I'm happy he got a fight, because he was having a tough time getting cleared.
When is... I know, because that MRI.
Yeah, which he said always happened to him. Like, he's always had, stuff with his brain that came up wrong, and it just... But just when it was in New York, there were a lot more.
Yeah, but then he did it in Toronto.
Yeah,
he moved to Toronto. He did it again to him in Toronto.
I know. Well, what would your recommendation for him be? I mean,
he's got a great job at the desk. Why is he still fighting?
That's what. Yeah.
I mean, does he need the money? Is there a money incentive that he's kind of behind? But he's great on camera. Like, why does he just pursue that? Like, get serious about doing that, expanding that role, and doing more of it.
Have you ever had to tell a friend hey man, it's time to hang it up? Like, you're...
No, I don't have any friends, so I don't really have to tell them. Yeah.
I mean, but there are guys out there. I mean, even like Roy Jones, who's doing bare knuckle boxing next week against Bobby Gunn. I mean, you're just like, okay, isn't it? You're getting knocked out with padding.
Yeah.
I mean, you think bare knuckle is going to help this? What does he have to prove?
I don't get his whole mindset behind what he's doing. Like Baroni, like I don't know why he's still fighting.
Is he still fighting?
Yeah,
Hello?
he's trying to.
Hey, Rashad Evans.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, man? You're on the MMA Roasted podcast. It's me. I'm here with Frank Trigg, CB Gold, Gabe Killian, Joe the Kid. How are you, man?
I'm good, man. How about you?
Good. Congrats on your fight. You got a big fight coming up. When is this fight?
It's March 4th in Vegas.
March 4th, Vegas. Big card.
March 4th.
Khabib's on that card, right? That's the one with Khabib and with
Wonderboy Woodley.
Wonderboy Woodley.
Wonder Boy. Yeah, it's going to be a good card, man. It's going to be a real good card.
Mark Hunt
Good
over him.
card.
No,
Yeah.
Mark-Hunt Overeem. Wow, that's a great card. Now, you're fighting a guy who's a two-time Olympian in judo. The guy's got the worst dad bod I've seen, yet somehow he wins fights. This dude somehow ends up knocking people out. But I think
he's got a strong will. You know, they say will can beat skill. So
now how do you train for a guy who's so good in judo?
I mean, I'm a wrestler, so I'm not really too worried about judo. I just, the thing about it is I got a couple of training partners that are judo guys that I don't, when you with a judo guy, you just don't lock up with them like that. That's pretty much it.
So, I mean, I think you definitely have the advantage in speed, experience, everything. I can't see where this guy beats you, but those sometimes are the fights that worry me. When I think, like the guys where I'm like, there's no way he's going to lose, and then those sometimes worry me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. The thing about it is, like, with a fight, man, you can plan for this, plan for that. When it goes down, it goes down, and I'm confident in my skill. I'm confident no matter where the fights go. No matter where the fight goes, I'll be ready to do what I need to do.
Now, is there going to be a lot of smack talking for this fight? Because the guy is 50. He's probably going to have a walker. there's going to be a ramp and still. He's a pretty old guy. How old is this guy?
Yeah. I ain't a smack talk. There's really no need for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just new to the weight class, getting my feet wet, and just kind of, getting it in. For it's been a while since I've been out the octagon, so for me, it's just going in there and just getting some octagon time, feeling comfortable in there at 185, and just putting on a good performance.
Are you bringing an agent? Are you in now? What's up with the Black Zillions? Where are you training for this fight?
Yeah. I'm a bit all over the place, but I've been training at this place called Combat Club, and it's pretty much the same team. Everybody that was a Black Zillion, we all train there, so that's where we train at now.
Nice. Frank,
Who's the head coach?
Yeah, there's no really no head coach. Like I guess I seen yesterday, Neil Melanson is the head coach of the Black Zillions, but I don't have a head coach. I work with Henry Hoof, I work with Greg Jones, I work with Dale Christensen, Joaquin Rodriguez, Tyrone Spong. But besides that, I don't have a head coach.
now, Frank, you're a black belt in judo. You're a great trainer. You actually trained Ryan Couture almost to his biggest win ever. What would your advice be for Sugar Rashad Evans?
Well, the biggest thing is he kind of fell off from what got him to the playground. He tried to become more of a striker, which is a typical wrestling mentality. If he just sticks with a straight wrestling style, just keep coming at him like a wrestling, making it a grindy style, judo guys can't handle that because they want to grab onto something. There's nothing to grab onto, especially with a guy like Rashad. He's not going to underhook and sit there and let you hold an underhook. He's going to, if he digs an underhook, he's going to get out of the way and keep using it. So it's for him, this is almost a perfect matchup. Unfortunately, when it hits the ground, he's going to suck him in and hold on to him. So it's going to get boring unless he gets right past the guards. So the biggest thing for Rashad, he's got to practice punching a takedown pass. He's got to take him down and get past. If he doesn't get past right away, it's going to be a long route because he's got to get damaged. He's just going to stop and slow it down and make it a boring fight. Rashad's age, you can't have a boring fight.
I'll get past God.
He's going to get past the guy. Rashad, do you agree? Do you agree with Frank?
I've been doing my own thing lately. Like, here's what I think, man. Here's where I'm at. Like, too much of a big deal is made about a lot of these coaches, and I'm not trying to take anything away from the coaches, but at the end of the day, a coach has in their strengths and what they want to push you, and they see your strengths and your weaknesses and stuff like that, and they try to mold you for you to be the best that you can be. But I think that a lot of times, so many fighters put so much trust in a coach that they stop thinking for themselves. You know what I'm saying? I have like 30 fights, and I know how to fight. I know what is best for me. I know what feels good for me. So no matter what a coach is teaching me, if it doesn't feel good with my natural style, then I'm not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? So a big part of me just kind of pulling away from everything and not really, going with the whole black zillion system or whatever, man. I'm just like to the point where I'm like, I know what I need to do. I've gotten out of what I do because I'm too busy trying to be everything for everybody else. I'm too busy trying to, help out this person. But at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is nobody gives a fuck about that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cares about that. Nobody's going to be like, oh, he did this for me. I need to do this for him. Everybody's out to do what's best for themselves. So I got to do what's best for me. And I felt like being part of the whole Black Zillion team, it was a lot of me just shouldering a lot of responsibility and really not focusing on me and taking away from me ended up hurting me.
Yeah, I mean that. Like at the end of the day, you're the one in the cage, not the Black Zillions.
Yeah, I mean that, and that's what it comes down to. So everybody's asking about the Black Zillion thing. The truth is, I made a team. There wouldn't be no Black Zillion if I didn't come. And I'm not trying to downplay everybody else's position because everybody played a key role in it. But at the end of the day, when you look at the genesis of the team, I started the team. I made the team. People came to train in South Florida because I was there. You know what I'm saying? And credit to Danilo and Jay-Z and George Santiago and Yuri Villafort and those guys and Bigfoot, they were definitely a main reason why I stayed. But if the truth of the matter is, people only came and trained and stayed because I was there. And then we started putting coaches around that.
So
and
now,
that's all that. So even when the team was started, it wasn't even about like making a team. It was about I was against teams because I just left Jackson's, and I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I don't need any more teams. I just want a training camp around me. And that's how it started out. But then more and more people came till it became a team. And then when it had a name, it was all over.
I heard that you and Overeem now are starting your own team. Is that true? You and Overeem are starting your own
team? What is
that? I heard you and Overeem now.
Yeah, that's Zillions.
Yeah. So, yeah, I hear you, man. I mean, I think that happens a lot of times with people, and it makes sense because it did seem like you had, you were the face of the Black Zillions, and you had to always be the person keeping everything together. And sometimes that's hard because at the same time you're a fighter. You can't be a fighter and the manager. So I know exactly.
I mean, like I'm so proud of where the team, how it grew, and the fighters on the team. I watched them grow, and I watched them become, monsters. Anthony Johnson, Michael Johnson, a lot of those guys. Jason Jackson, who's up and coming, who's going to be a monster when he gets to the UFC, and a lot of these guys that were, the team and everything, and Henry Hoops and just the whole nucleus of the team just brought their talents out to another level that may not have happened if they went anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely has some proud moments for me, and I was happy to be a part of it. But at the end of the day, I can't be a part of something that's destroying me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, I get it. Look, you got it right now. Your career is kind of backed up against the wall. You're against the wall. And you got to focus on you.
Yeah.
You got to win.
That's right.
You got to win, and you got a big dopey white guy in front of you. So you got to beat him.
And I plan to beat him. And I want to do it good. I want to do it impressive. I don't want to go out there and just show that I got a lot left. And I don't want to fool myself. I don't want to go out there and be like, I still got it when I really don't. You know what I'm saying? If I go out there and I look terrible, and I can't do anything, then I need to really consider whether I should compete anymore, because that's not how I want to be remembered. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be remembered as a guy who just ultimately just like look like trash at the end of his career.
Well, you got too much other talent. We were talking about that before. I mean, you're great on the mic. You obviously you have star potential. You're a very charismatic guy. I mean, how are you feeling in practice? I mean, versus Rashad Evans 8 8 years ago who knocked out Chuck Liddell, the Rashad Evans that beat everyone else. How are you feeling right now in practice?
I feel great now. I feel great. I feel like, I'm training a lot smarter because before it was like we used to do some crazy shit in practice, like just grinding, like buddy carries, carrying each other in the mountains with Greg and doing, just crazy shit that had really nothing to do with getting in shape, but it was more like mental toughness. And it had its place, but at the end of the day, it beat the hell out of your body more than anything. Like you can't train like that nowadays and think that you're going to have a training camp without being injured when it comes to fight time. So I train a lot smarter now. My body feels a lot better, and I know when to take time off because before, the hardest thing to do for any athlete, especially for a fighter, once you get into training camp, is to take time off because you get used to just that it's like a drug. You know what I'm saying? You get used to this feeling of constantly just whooping the hell out of yourself, and then when you don't do it, you don't feel like you were doing anything. So being able to take time off, being able to do do stuff to help heal my body is my biggest change, and I feel great because of it.
Frank, you and Rashad are both from upstate New York. Did you guys know each other back in the day?
No, we didn't. It was funny enough that I didn't know about him until after he got even when he was wrestling at Michigan. It kind of missed me, or Michigan State rather. I didn't actually get Rashad didn't get on my radar until he started fighting.
Oh, wow.
And it was like, oh, he's another wrestler. Like, where's he from? And then all of a sudden, I was like, oh, I'm working out with Gray Maynard, and Rashad's his teammate from Michigan State. Like, how the hell did I not know that? But there's so many guys. Yeah. Back then, there were so many more programs that were still.
You guys ever train together?
No, I don't think we have. Have we, Rashad? I don't think we ever trained together either.
Nah, we never trained together.
No, I remember Frank said when he used to train with Overeem, all you used to do be like, "Hey man, your hair looks messed up," or you would insult him. It would totally get in his head, and you'd be able to fuck him up in training. Is that what you did too, Rashad, or no?
No, I was asking we put on some weight.
Oh, you really? You say, did you put on some weight?
Did you put on some weight and then walk away?
Yeah. I mean, or say to him like, man, you look like you're leaning out. Like it's good though. You look like you've gotten real skinny, and then he'll get like he'll think about it a little bit. But Overeem was he was good to train with. But the thing about it is like he had to be the hammer. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't no good at being a nail in practice.
It's the same thing when people talk about what's that guy. Not Yo Romero, the other Cuban.
Lombard? Hector?
Lombard. Like, yeah, he's got to be the hammer. Otherwise, if he's not beating you up, he can't really do well in practice, and he gets mad. And I've seen him, like, try to rip guys, like, in practice, like, try to finish an armbar to break their arm. Like, he just won't stop.
Who do you think, him versus Hendricks? Who wins?
That was a tough fight, man, because both guys are kind of off. Lombard's been caught before, so he's trying to be super clean now, especially with the new USADA programming, and who knows what Johnny Hendricks is showing up. Is 250-pound Johnny Hendricks that just cut weight showing up that makes weight looks great, but then obviously he can't function come the middle of the first round? Or is a guy staying on his diet, 12 weeks before he starts training camp, Johnny shows up, who looks like shit when he's on a scale, looks like a total crap when he walks in the middle of the cage, but all of a sudden knocks out Martin Kampman with a hook? Like which one are we going to get?
Rashad, who do you think wins that fight?
I think Johnny Hendricks does, and I like Johnny Hendricks because he can endure punishment, but as well, he can push a pretty good pace when he wants to. You know what I'm saying? And if he comes in there with the right mindset, and it looked like his last fight he did have the right mindset, it looked like he can go and do well. The thing with Johnny is that he went through that weird phase after he had all those close fights, and then he came on the short end, that it kind of took away his desire. You know what I'm saying? And with that, he has a wrestler mentality. And if there's no like desire, there's no end goal, or there's no award to be won at the end of it, then it kind of like diminishes a lot of your performance, your preparation for the fight, and definitely weight cut. It makes it almost impossible. So I think that Johnny Hendricks with a new mindset.
Hello, Rashad. Hello? Rashad?
Oh, the Bluetooth is on the car. Give it a second.
What happened?
Bluetooth on his car.
Oh, what's on his car?
Bluetooth.
Bluetooth.
Oh, Bluetooth on his
Don't
car.
don't you have a car with Bluetooth? on
No,
it?
it goes right to the. I just talk to the. It goes into my radio on my phone. I don't.
That's
use
called Bluetooth.
Yeah, but I don't use the actual Bluetooth.
No.
Hey,
I'm
hello?
not saying about the headset. It's
Oh,
in
go
the
on.
car.
Okay, go on. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
hey.
So, okay. So now you've been training with AJ. So as far as AJ Cormier, the rematch, how do you think this goes down?
Oh man, it's another tough one. You know, DC, really had his number last time. But DC really had his number last time. But this is a different, AJ, and and I think a big part of it is due to DC. The way DC did him last time, and the kind of things that AJ heard him say afterward, it really pushed him in a different direction, in a good direction. It made him tighten up and made him, get out of some ways that were not helping him become champion. And this is a real tough AJ that DC's going to face, because he's willing to put in the work, and he's putting in the work to be the champion. He's doing the grueling, grinding wrestling rounds. He's doing rounds with a lot of pace and making sure that he's really leaving no stone unturned.
Frank?
Yeah, it's. I heard though that AJ kind of wants to be done fighting here pretty soon. He doesn't really want to fight that much longer. If that's true, and he's already looking for an exit plan, do you think that makes him want to train harder for this fight, or do you think it's going to make him want to train not as hard, knowing that the end of the tunnel for him is coming?
I think it'll make him want to train hard, just because I know his desire and where he truly wants to be. And one thing for him is that he's even said, he's like, I want to be done in a few fights, but at the end of the day, I still want to be able to walk away with this as an accomplishment, knowing that I went out there and became world champion. So he still is pushing to be world champion, just so he knows that he gave everything he has. So it's kind of like, somebody saying, this is my swan song. I want to go out there and just leave it all out there. You know what I'm saying?
Got it.
The biggest thing for me that I see with this piece is that, if AJ hits him hard and hits him heavy, between the first and third round, he's got a pretty good shot of stopping Cormier. But the longer it goes, the worse it's going to be for AJ. And it's one of those things where you're going to kind of be hesitant, but Rashad knows, especially as a wrestler, which Cormier, that's his main background. Once he figures out, if he figures out AJ's rhythm and timing and spacing for his punching, you can't catch him, man. Like that's one of Rashad's best attributes when he was he was crushing folks, is that like you couldn't catch Rashad because he knew where he was going. Like he knew when you were punching, he's so far out of the way that everything was overextended. Cormier does the exact same thing to you. So if AJ starts to overextend, he'll run from him, but it won't look like he's running for the first couple of rounds. So he realizes he's slowing down. They'll start pressing him. So I think that AJ catches him early, but Cormier wins late. But who knows? I mean, it's a fight with two big men that know how to hit each other.
I mean, Cormier said today, he said 30 minutes ago, no wrestling, only boxing with AJ.
Stop it.
He's got to be kidding, right?
Stop it. That's just stupid.
He's kidding. You know why he's saying that? He's doing the classic. It's a classic head game thing. You know what I'm saying? AJ don't think for 1 second that he's really just going to stand with him. Only a fool would even think that. But I think he's just saying it to kind of put that out there and to say it, so then that way, he's trying to get AJ mad. And what he wants to do is he wants AJ to come out throwing heavy and throwing like he can throw to try to put him out. But like you said, if he overextends, overswings, all of that makes it better for DC, because it takes a lot of power. I'll tell you, it takes a lot more energy to miss a punch than to connect. You know what I'm saying? You miss too many punches, you're going to be huffing and puffing, and then you're going to be, getting taken for a ride by DC throwing you somewhere.
Now, I know lately, the first time I had you on the show, you were married, then you got divorced and talked about all the honeys in Miami, and then your ex-wife got mad at you for saying that on the show. But what's going on now? Do you have a girlfriend? Are you wrecking shop? How's it going? Talk to me.
Oh man, you know what? I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm just in chill mode right now. I'm not really after it like that, to be honest. Just because like I need to get back to me. You know what I'm saying? And more than just winning fights, but just getting back to getting back to who I am as a person and just,
Yeah, but I've been with you before when the girls walk by you and but I've seen it. You know, girls walk by you, they like smile at you, you check out their ass. You're funny. I mean, you say that, but what's really going on? Come on, tell us the truth.
Nah, for real, man. I mean, you know, I used to keep work, but I don't keep work like that no more, man. I just kind of
So how many girls you got on booty call status?
But it's good for me though. I needed that. I needed to just kind of drop off the radar and not be on that, just because, you know, I got a different goal in mind.
Are you on Tinder or Bumble?
That's where I'm at.
Are you on Bumble or Tinder?
I couldn't even be on that, man.
Blackpeoplemeet.com.
Come on. Could you imagine if I got caught on there? Somebody take a screenshot of that and then put it on like Twitter or something like that, or IG. Oh my God, that'd be so embarrassing.
Who cares?
Yeah,
what's her nuts was on? Who was it? Jessica Simpson or somebody?
Gabby Garcia is on it.
Yeah, like they went on to get dates on Tinder. It's awesome.
She's on Tinder. Gabby
Who cares?
Garcia.
Shit, I guess I'm downloading Tinder.
Who's on there? You said Gabby Garcia.
Gabby Garcia's on Tinder. Yeah, that's.
Oh, see, that's why I don't want y'all talking bad about me if I go on there. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, you would be killing chicks on. Now, I mean, come on, those Cuban girls in Miami. You're a fighter. You're ripped. That you got money. I mean, you got fame. What are you doing?
I'm chilling, man. You know what? I don't need it because it's never just that. That's the thing about it. It's never just that. It's never just that. It's always more than that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it may seem like they just with it just to be with it, but at the end of the day, it's more than that.
Yeah, they're trying to have your babies and have you pay for shit, and I get it. Did you watch the New Edition thing? The New Edition?
No, I didn't watch it.
It was so good, man. I was thinking about you and watching it.
That's racist as shit. That's fucking racist as shit. Are you serious?
He would have been perfect in that movie.
He would have been, actually.
Yeah, you would have been a great member of New Edition. You remind me a little bit of Michael Bivins as like a young Michael Bivins.
Good luck, man.
Hey, you see how Adam is? You see how he get me though? See, I watched the New Edition. Why? Every black person has to watch it.
It was the most watched miniseries in the history of cable. Everybody, it broke all kinds of records.
Yeah.
I heard it was good though. But was it really that good? Though?
It was really amazing. Honestly, it'll bring you back, and it was really good. I highly recommend it. I'm
gonna go home and watch it, man.
Bobby Brown was the original John Jones. John Jones was Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown is like, he was the original bad boy. So, got it.
Got
it. Frank is half black, by the way. You don't know that, right? Frank Trigg is half black. Just so you know.
Is that
I didn't know.
Does that make us better friends now because we're both black? Is that how that works?
Wait, did you know that, Rashad? Or no?
I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Nobody does. I keep it hidden.
Your dad was black, right?
Is black.
Your dad is black.
He's not dead.
And your mom's Jewish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Lenny Kravitz, but reversed.
You're like bluish.
Yes.
Hey, Frank, weren't you out here not too long ago with the team, the Black Lane?
I was. You ducked me.
I didn't duck you.
Yeah, you ducked me. You didn't show up one time. I was there for 10 days and didn't show up there one time. Duck me.
Wow.
Motherfucker. No, he was working.
That was a time where I just wasn't feeling just being a part of that whole system. So I was like,
yeah, I know. We talked about it.
Yeah, I don't want to be there.
I hit you up. I was like, what the hell? And you're like, man, I'm not coming in. I'm like, okay. All right. I knew it wasn't me. But I do want to say it was me because you weren't there.
Who do you think wins in a grappling contest, you or Rashad?
In a grappling contest?
Yeah.
Oh, it depends. I mean, what are the rules?
If it was submission grappling,
I know, but is it submission only or no time limit?
He never even seen me grapple. He never seen me grapple before. I've never seen him grapple.
Yeah, but you're a great wrestler. I'm sure you're
bigger.
You're bigger.
Yeah, but grappling is different because a lot of times that you can find somebody who is good in grappling, but they use a lot of wrestling base, but doesn't really have a lot of jiu-jitsu technique, and just can find a way to, be more athletic or use his wrestling to get out of stuff. But I'm talking about like
I don't know. I'm seeing a Metamoris contest. You versus Rashad.
I don't have enough money. I actually want my check to clear.
Really?
You know what? I want to train with Frank, man. I need to train with Frank. I need to. I need to see what Frank got because I know Frank got a lot of old school tricks. I know we do.
Yeah.
I know we do. I know he's holding out.
Yeah.
Well, my old school tricks are even better now because I'm reffing, so I actually know the rules, which is weird. Like, when I was fighting, I didn't actually know all the rules. Now I know all the rules. It's like, oh, yeah, I can totally do this now. This is totally legal.
Like what?
Putting your fingers through the fence is totally legal. It's just when you hook it and grab it, and then it's intent. Like, if I can just stand and put my fingers through the fence and hold on anytime I want. If nothing's happening, there's no intent of me to stop a takedown or stop position change. If in the middle of it, I've had to stop guys and take points away because they use the cage to stand up. Like, what are you talking about? You physically put their fingers through the cage and pull themselves up. And they're like, why are you stopping me taking a point away? Because you got yourself off the bottom by cheating. That's just how it is. So, like, there's all sorts of stuff that you can do that I didn't realize were, open hand rape chokes are totally fine. The only talking about if you grab the throat is a difference. There's all sorts of shit that goes on now. You can kind of change up. I had a whole list of stuff for
this is the kind of stuff. This is the kind of stuff that I need to know. This is the kind of shit that I need to know about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, seriously.
If you know what the refs are looking for and you know what the judges are looking for in a fight, you know how to work the system. And that's the whole game, is working the system. Like, if you're not going to get a clean, smooth, absolute, knockout where a guy falls face first, there's a shot that you can lose the fight. So you have to know how to work the system. What are the judges looking for? What are the refs looking for?
Who's really good at working the system and smart as hell? John Jones, boy, that's some bitch. He got tons of tricks that he does that the referee can't even see, man.
Yeah,
he got tons of tricks.
Absolutely, yeah. He's really good at hit and run too. That's his. It's really.
You mean with girls, or you mean with
you mean
with his drug dealer?
No, with pregnant.
You mean with his steroid drug?
Yeah, there's all kinds of different hit and runs.
Oh, okay.
He's a master of all of them.
All of them.
He's a black belt in hit and running. So
that's racist.
So Rashad, so you're all right. Listen, I'm gonna be there the night. I'm doing comedy that Wednesday night. The MMA Awards is that Thursday, and then I'm gonna come to your fight on Saturday. The whole weekend, I can't wait. I can't wait to see you beat Dan Kelly. If you beat him, are you thinking about who you're going to call out or not? Or are you not even looking there?
I'm not even looking there yet. I just want to have a great win, man. It's been so damn long since I got into the cage and really just got my shit off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just need to vent. You know what I'm saying? I need to go in the cage and just vent. It's been a long time, and the cage has missed me. I miss the cage. It's a love affair that has been broken up many times, but I'm looking to reestablish that relationship.
I think Chael probably was the last guy you seriously destroyed, right?
Yeah, and that was man, almost 4 years ago, man. I mean, 3 years ago and some change.
Got it.
But it was, it's been a long time, 3 years, and it goes by fast.
Yeah.
Shit, I wish time would slow down, but time is not slowing down at all.
Well, listen, I believe in you. I can't wait to watch this fight, and thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you. And you know what? If it all goes to hell, I could just be on the radio and just do this with you, right?
1,000%. Right? I would be honored. You have no idea. Absolutely.
I won't be a total failure. All right. Now I feel good.
Thank you. Take care, Rashad.
All right.
Bye. All right, that was Rashad Evans.
He needs to come to Glendale, bro.
Edmund's back. Edmund, so what do you think about Rashad Evans?
He's missing a little head movement tricks
Yes.
in his game. I can teach him.
Nice. Well, now you're 0-50, though. What makes you think you could change Rashad's career?
Bro, you're looking at the wrong numbers, bro. Rashad, his striking, I can put some special touches on it, bro.
Oh, good. Oh, thanks, Edmund. Well, thank you. That's very specific, and I appreciate it. So,
that guy can't catch a fucking break.
Well, he's here.
Oh my!
You're gonna say that right in front of him,
Jesus,
bro.
He is the worst fucking coach in the world, and he still gets people to show up. I don't understand it.
Now, do you think he's a horrible boxing coach?
I don't know, man. I only see the end result.
Yeah.
And all I know is that the folks he trains can't box. That's all I know.
Even like Victor Darshinian, who he claims to have success, was getting knocked out when he was with him.
Yeah.
He was way bigger before, or way more successful before Coach Edmund.
Bro.
Now, do you think Ronda will be back or no?
It's Ronda, man. It's tough to tell. She's super girly, but she's super competitive. So she's super depressed, and I had suicidal thoughts when I lost to Holly Holm and went through this whole rigmarole. And that's every athlete goes through that. It's not that big of a deal, but the hurt really affected her. Then she comes back and she really believes she's going to beat Amanda Nunes. And then anybody that follows the sport, come on,
the writing on the wall. Yeah,
you just know there's no way she's going to catch this girl.
She was still a favorite in that, which was crazy.
Yeah, it's because remember, and Gabe can step in here. betting is not actually who's going to win or lose. The odds are not made off of who's going to win or lose. The odds are put on where the fans think people are going to win or lose.
Yeah.
Because the house is trying to make money. You can't put on who's actually going to win or lose because the house always loses. The house always wins. Why? Because the fans don't know what the fuck they're doing, but that's how they set the line. They know everyone's going to pick Ronda because she's the darling, and that's where the press was coming from, and that's where they're doing everything. So everyone's going to pick Ronda, knowing for sure that they're not going to win.
Do you bet at all or no?
No, I don't bet. Since I started reffing, I stopped betting sports gambling altogether. I don't bet.
Did you bet before that?
Oh yes, yeah. I used to bet on everything.
Did you win or lose?
Oh, I was like 80%. Yeah, I used to crush it. Especially like MMA, I'd be like 50, 65% maybe, depending on I can go on runs where I was like 95%, but then like for the year, but then add in baseball and football, I was like 80%.
What's the fight that you're the most proud of that you had?
That I had? Shit, I don't know. I don't think about it.
The Mayhem fight was pretty brutal. I mean, you kicked him in the head.
Yeah, I stomped on him. Each fighter has its own different result, as far as where I was in my lifeline and where things were going for me as a person. And now I look back at my fights now, I was like, how would I ref that fight? How would I judge that fight? Underneath the new rules. And a lot of fights that I lost, I win now, and a lot of fights that I win, I lose now underneath the new rules.
I was thinking about that. I was thinking about your career and some of the guys.
Were you naked, touching yourself?
No, but I was, yes, obviously. That was your Playgirl spread.
Was your girlfriend in the corner yelling at you to do it faster and slower?
Exactly, 100%. Dude, even like when I like make her scream and moan, like and I'm like really proud of like how what I gave her in sex. After we're done, a minute later, she's like, "Let's do it again." And I'm like, "Ugh." It's like it's such a power play because she knows that she can go, and I need like 20, 30, 40 hours, But anyway,
you got fists; they work. Put a little bit.
Is that what you think? You I don't know if I could ever fist my girlfriend.
Why not?
Just knowing that I get my fist in there would probably bother me. It's a big. I don't know. It just seems
you got little girly hands. Like, how the fuck is that going to bother you?
I like putting one or two fingers, the whole fist. I don't know. That would seem like she's been around.
That's freaked me out before. I was able to get my whole hand in there. I'm like, fuck.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but look at those hands. I mean, come on, you guys. It's like guys are they're talking like they got big freaking catcher's mitt hands. They're all like girl hands.
Chicks? You did?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Where have these girls been before you that you were able to get your whole fist in them?
Fire hydrants.
Yeah, seriously.
Who knows? Giving birth? Right in the middle of giving them birth, punch a kid in the head.
While they're having kids, you come over with.
You're not ready yet.
You're not ready yet. Go back in. No,
it's unbelievable.
I don't know where these girls have been. I don't meet them and hang out and talk to them. Girls like that, you're not hanging out and talking to for a long period of time.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like when a chick wants anal the first night, you're like, okay, this is never going to work.
It's going to work for the next 25, 35 minutes, but then after that, we're fucking, like, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to work right now.
Right, of course.
I'm not turning it down.
No, well, I've actually only done it twice, anal. I've only, one by accident. I was doing a doggy style, and it was a huge, and then I went back in, and I'm like, whoa, and she's like, I'm like, sorry, and she's like, keep going. That was one, and then the other one...
Never mind, just keep going. It's fine.
That was a great rendition of that counter.
And then the other one, the chick was like, "Let's do it." And I was like, "All right." Anyway, back to you.
ADD at its finest, ladies and
We were
gentlemen.
talking about your fighting, about your fight. I
What
was
was
thinking about your career, and I'm like, you know what? Frank Trigg is such an underrated fighter. Like, to me, you go down as one of the top 50 fighters. But I think that in some ways, you got unlucky. Like, I think you'd be better now. Because you would have had more fights against guys you were better than. It's almost like you got so rushed to Matt Hughes twice because you were better than everyone else. And look, that Matt Hughes fight could have went either way.
Yeah.
Whether or not I think it's like whatever. It's a coin toss. But it's like there weren't that many fighters out there then, and you got so fast tracked that it sort of did you a disservice.
Yeah,
he was a phenomenal heel. At his time,
yeah, I played the great heel.
Don't you agree that
great heel.
Don't you agree that if you were fighting now, you'd have way more FS1 cards, way more this card?
Oh yeah, for sure. But that's just the nature of the sport. If I was 10 years younger, I'd be a millionaire right now. But I'm not, so I have to do it other ways. You can sit around and bitch and moan and complain about it, and oh God, I was on the Chicago Cubs team and we made it to playoffs twice. We didn't get anywhere, and they cut me and. I went to Philadelphia, and I'm kind of now in the bottom of the basement, and the Cubs just won. You can sit around and bitch about that all day long and be like, it doesn't matter. Like it's water under the bridge. Nothing I can do about it. Yeah, would I love to be a millionaire right now? For sure, but I've got other shit going on that will potentially. Like, as I've been sitting here, I got asked if I can do a stunt job in China. I got asked to come ref a thing in Singapore as I'm sitting here on the podcast.
Wow.
So there's other things that are going on.
Keep coming to the podcast. It gets more work.
No, that's actually slowed down. I was expecting 4 other things to happen. They
Oh,
didn't happen.
nice.
Yeah, fuck me up.
Now, have you ever had people boo you as a ref yet or get mad at you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
What happened?
Yeah, nothing. Just
No, but why did they boo you?
Oh, they thought I made a bad call. They thought I made a bad stoppage. Like, thought I jumped in it too soon, stopped the fight. But it's, I have, and so I took McCarthy's course twice. The first time I took it just because I want to be a better commentator. So I took it. What are the refs looking at? What are the judges looking at? So as a commentator, I can actually educate the people better and give them real. I'm not going to say who it is, but there's a color commentator, which is that space. The play-by-play is the guy that's telling you what just happened. Oh, 1-2 by Hunter. Oh, amazing job. Well, and then the color guy is the guy that tells you why it happened. That was amazing 1-2. That I'm just hit. The reason why I was able to get it is because Trigg was stepping to his left instead of stepping to his right. So you get, so I'm that guy, right?
Right.
So there's guys out there that people listen to because that's the person you hear on the TV. And they literally have no fucking clue what they're talking about. Like, they literally don't understand the fight game.
Like who?
At all.
Call people out.
I'm telling you, I'm not calling them out. So you're listening to these people, and you're like, wow, people at home, or whether it's 10 people or 10,000 or 10 million, like, people are listening to this guy talk, and they really don't know what they're talking
Dominic
about.
Cruz is great.
They really have no clue.
Hardy's great.
I'm in there doing it so I can be a
Stan's great.
better commentator of what I'm looking at. So then I come back in, and UFC buys up everything. I get released from HTNet, which is now Access TV. I'm like, well, there's no other jobs out there. Like, there's really nothing out there to go work at. So what am I going to do? So I reinvent myself and go, look, I'm just going to go acting and stunt work full time. Was kind of bitching about how bad the reffing and judging is. And John MacArthur overheard me. He's like, if you want to be president of the United States, keep bitching about it. It's a 1 in 4 billion chance that you'll be president of the United States. There's only, at the time, there's only, 44 other people that have ever done it. You know what I'm saying? Now we have the 45th president. It's like there's only 44 other people that understand what he's going through, so it's a really long shot. Keep bitching about being president of the United States. Complain about that department. If you're complaining about reffing and judging in MMA, get off your fucking couch and go take a course. Go start reffing and judging in MMA. I started, it was like, holy crap, like, this is really hard. It's really difficult, but I have the best seat in the house. I see stuff the judges can't even see because I am literally over the action watching it happen. So when I stop a fight, it's because I see there's body language telling me that the person's out or the person's is caught and can't get out. There's the position that they're in. I see how hard the punch is or how tough the submission is. Like, I had a stoppage in Bellator this last week. Forgive me, I forget the guy's names that I was doing it, but the guy on the bottom was in. He was taking some solid shots.
Cody?
No,
Cody was a body shot TKO.
Okay.
He was working it. Like, he was in the bottom, but he's still in the game. He's still moving. He's taking a couple of hard shots, but he's still moving. And there's one shot that sounds like a guy took a bat, smashed a coconut into a side of meat. And that's his head bouncing off the canvas. And I'm running in to stop it. And all of a sudden I see his eyes blink. So I know he's out. Like, he's flash knocked out. Jump in, boom, wave it off. It's over. Keep him on the canvas. And his corner's like, what the hell? He was in it. And then they are yelling a little bit at me, whatever, and then they finally get in. The doctors check him. They finally come in, and they're like, "Oh yeah, good stoppage." Like, he was done.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, I know. I was standing right there. Like,
I saw you on the Bellator prelims. Mm-hmm. How close are you to getting on the main card, televised card?
I have no idea. It's up to Andy Foster, the head of the California State Athletic Commission. It's his choice.
Do they make you kind of pay your dues?
Oh, absolutely, and rightfully so. This is a sport where people get hurt for real. Like, there's not like in baseball, guys can get hurt. You can hurt yourself. The ball can hit you in the hand. You can get hit in the arm on a bad pitch. You can slide in face first in the second base and slash it with your fingers. Yeah, you can get hurt. In our sport, people get hurt for real. So you have to spend your time. Like, my next assignment is February 18th up in San Jose for Bellator again. The assignments are Jason Herzog, Mike Beltran, and John McCarthy and myself. In that hierarchy, where am I? Well, I'm in the prelims, in the main card. That hierarchy, that's where I belong. These guys have big round, major experience. Do not put me on the main card, and they won't. Andy won't. I'm not ready for that position yet, so I keep building my ranks. Now, have I done in the 3 years now, or 2.5 years that I've officially been reffing? Like, started out the amateur. In 10 months, I did over 100 bouts. In 10 months, I did 100 amateur bouts, which is unheard of. Like, it takes people like 5 years to do that. It's just so I could apply to California, I could apply to Hawaii and get my pro card. Got my pro card, and then since then, I'm probably up around 400 or so bouts ref now.
I was terrible, yeah.
And that's you look at John McCarthy. He's got like what, 50,000?
Yeah, and people still get mad at him.
And he's the guy that writes the rules. So it's not like he doesn't understand the rules. He wrote the damn rules.
Yeah.
All the new rules that came into effect. He sat down and wrote he wrote the rule book. Like, this is the guy that writes the rule book. Fans don't like establishes. So still have arguments with him. Put in Beltran, he's like 10,000 in. Herzog was like 8,000 in.
Mazzagatti was pretty bad though. Mazzagatti's pretty bad. You got to admit. And
I haven't seen him in a while.
He's not reffing anymore.
And then Winslow was rough.
And I haven't seen her ref in a while either. There's now they're trying to put in a ranking system where the refs are ranked A, B, C, D, and so when you show up for a card, hey, yeah, I'm the D ref. Like I'm not going to be on a main card because I'm the D grade ref right now. I don't have enough bouts in to be C because it's also amount of bouts and all that stuff. They're trying to get this in act. They're trying to make these things happen, and it's because that way you can't have like McCarthy goes to Texas and he's got the main event, and the local guy in Texas is like, I have 50,000 bouts too. How come I don't get the main event? Why does McCarthy get it? I'm part of this commission. It's now they go, well, because your bout number, yes, may equal, but the bouts that you did aren't as good.
Right.
You haven't had as many title fights. So it all comes into a factor. So right now I'm a D guy, and I'm happy. That's where I belong. I don't belong up there in these main. And then I have guys that, like Max Holloway wants me to ref when the UFC comes to Hawaii. He's like, you're 100% going to ref my fight. You 100%. I'm like, Max, you're a friend of mine. I am not reffing your fight. Even if I got the assignment, even if the Alan gave me the assignment, I would like, no, you got to take me off that assignment. I can't do Max's fight. I can't do Max's, can't do Yancy Maduro. I train with him. I hang out with him. I'm not doing it. I don't belong on the main card at this stage of the game because I don't have the experience yet. I get more experience. I could be hell. I mean, CSAC's got an event every weekend. Andy could give me an event every weekend, and I'd accept the assignments and I get my numbers up, and it could be 10 months.
How's the pay? Pay good?
No, it pays garbage. It's garbage. There's no money in reffing. We're not doing it because we're making a bunch of money. We're doing it because we love the sport. It's an 8-hour day, and we're standing in there. And I think California pays the most. If it's a title fight main event, you get like $1,900, which I'm not getting. You get like $1,000 on the bottom end, which is what is normal. But it's like that's no money for
$1,000 per fight
day.
or per
no,
day?
It's for the night.
Wow,
it's for the whole night.
I remember I was the baseball ref for my little brother, his little league team, and I wasn't even a real ref. I just showed up to watch him play, and then the ref didn't show up. So I just went in there, and I was horrible because I was trying to get him to win. So I kept calling balls when they were like obvious strikes, and then I was trying so hard to get. I was like Naked Gun when he came, when Leslie Nielsen, it's kind of exactly how it was. So I was trying to get my brother to win. But that's cool though. Now, I good for you, man. You're like a jack of all trades. Now, do you miss fighting?
Oh no, because I get lit on fire. I got hung off a bridge yesterday. I got a couple weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago, I got thrown through I threw a guy over a Sports Center desk kind of.
No, I heard Steven Seagal tries to injure his stunt.
He does try that. And that's been told. Like people have told me, like, if you get on a Steven Seagal movie, like, no, he's trying to hurt you. And so I won't take it. And he only does low budget now anyway, so it's not worth the money. And even, but yeah, you just turn it down. Someone call you, like, hey, do you want to work on this movie? You tell them, yeah, I want to work on it.
Hold on, you're breathing real loud.
I'm not breathing at all. I'm fucking quiet as shit.
No, I can hear you breathing.
Yeah, we can hear you breathing. You got to do less coke.
Go on.
He's getting that one pass is getting bad. I wonder if he can run the.
No, he's getting tired. So go on. What were we saying?
So they put in. You take if the stunt coordinator calls you, you go in and go, yeah, I'll take it. But what's the gag? What's the reel? It's like, oh, Steven's going to hit you, and then you're like, okay, and then you walk in and you have a conversation with Steven, like, look, just so you know, you're not going to smack me around like you do the other guys, and then he won't work with you if you know coming in that you're going to talk to him about getting lit up. And then change the whole scene, like, is he trying to really put one on you? Then you put one back on him, and he knows that's going to happen. So he just won't use you. Oh, I'll use somebody else in the scene then, and use like one of the other guys. And then.
Now, whatever happened with your wrestling career?
Nothing. I've gotten fighting.
You got fired?
Oh, what? No. What's wrestling career?
Your pro wrestling.
Nothing. Just a mix up between my old management and Dixie. What's her name? Dixie Carter.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
Dixie Carter from TNA.
Yeah, and just a mix up on storyline. What they want to do with the storyline. And so they weren't going to call me for a while, and then they called him, and he's like, I don't like the storyline, so he just shut it out and they just stopped calling, and that was it.
Oh.
So that's how it goes. There's not much money in the low levels of pro wrestling either. Getting like maybe you might get $600, $800 a trip. And you got to be there the day before. You got to work the whole. I mean, it's a tough life when you're on the bottom heap.
And how many kids do you have?
4.
4 kids. With how many girls?
3.
Nice.
And a granddaughter.
And you have a granddaughter. Oh,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, Frankie,
I
yeah.
actually, your son came to my show. Your son looks just like you.
Yeah.
Nicest kid. He was a wrestler too, right?
Yeah,
High school did pretty
Florida.
well.
Yeah, did really well. Yeah.
And he's so proud of you. He's so proud of his dad, and he's like, and you're still like you. And it's crazy that Rochester is not a very big city. It's a big city, but it's
Not
not
really.
like. But they have 2 UFC Hall of Famers. Well, future Hall of Famers, John Jones.
Yeah.
You're in the Hall of Fame for your fight with Matt Hughes. It's crazy that 2 come out of Rochester.
Well, not to mention John Lithgow, Tay Diggs, Philip Seymour Hoffman, all from Rochester too.
Wow.
It's a great place to be from.
I do the Wheeze show all the time, Brother Wheeze.
Oh yeah. He's been around. Jeez, my first radio show I've ever done, like when I got interviewed when I was wrestling in high school, was on the Brother Weeze show.
Nice
He's
guy.
been there forever.
He's a cool guy. He's like a
Yeah.
legend there.
Yeah. Vietnam war vet. That's his big claim.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
He's been around forever. That guy.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
So anyway, CB, what's going on with you?
Nothing, man.
Any new news in the MMA world since the show started?
Since today?
Yeah.
No, just Cormier being delusional.
Yeah. And Gabe, we talked about you yesterday with Aljamain. Did you hear the show?
Oh, yeah, that was pretty funny.
He said that you're hungry all the time. Now, were you smoking weed in their house?
Yeah.
And they didn't care?
No.
Really? I would think that Aljamain and Iaquinta would be kind of like anti-weed.
No.
They didn't care that you were stoned all the time?
Nope, they did not. They're pro-weed.
Oh, nice. There you go. And Joe, hold on, Joe, get over here on the mic. Now, if you don't know Joe, Frank, Joe is a 20-year-old kid. You getting to UCLA or no?
I don't know yet, to be honest.
I actually wrote his recommendation letter.
So you're not
do him well.
You're not getting in there.
That'll do him real well.
I have low hopes anyways.
But Joe is has the weirdest sex life out of any of us. He once hooked up with a girl a couple weeks ago that liked to be cut during sex. Another girl that didn't live in the country. Another girl that liked.
Well, hold on. Doesn't live in the country? How's that weird?
That wasn't weird. I'm just going through the girls. And then another girl that.
No, the one that's not from the country wanted to marry him for a green card.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's normal.
And then the one and the last one wanted to be raped. Right? She's a rape fantasy.
She had a rape fantasy and like a brother-sister fantasy where she wanted me to. Yeah, it's just
This is normal stuff. Like I'm not hearing anything
Normal
strange.
you, brother, sister.
That's the fantasy that some chicks have. Yeah, it's
Have
normal
you
shit.
cut her while
have you
she's-
encountered that?
That I haven't had. No cutting.
Have you encountered the brother sister?
Yeah.
And then what do you do?
Nothing. Same shit I would do if it was some random whore I picked up on the street. It doesn't change anything for me.
The words of
You know?
wisdom
Yeah.
from Frank Trigg.
It's her fantasy that they want. You know?
Okay. Now, what about the girl you brought to the club, the hot one I met?
Yeah, what about her?
Now, Doug,
That's the one.
that's something that's a brother sister fantasy.
Yes.
Now, nice. Now, usually he sends dick pics right away. Is that something you would advise doing or no?
No, because there's so many dick pics out there. I mean, it depends. What are you trying to get with this girl? If you're trying to.
Oh no, it's not a single one. It's everyone.
It's everyone. He meets.
Yeah,
This
so
is
I was-
different because normally I'd send her a dick pic within like the first day, maybe.
Yeah.
But since I like this girl, because she's way out of my league, right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to keep
You
her
hold
like
off.
in range. Yeah, because I don't want to scare her off or make love with her too soon. I've had the
Hold on,
chance.
what? Do what?
I've had the chance to make love with her. She slept over at my
What, are you
house. a
fucking
couple
Mormon?
times.
He doesn't know the difference between fucking, having sex, and making
Or
love.
foreplay and role play.
Yeah, that
He
too.
got that confused as well. Now, Frank. Now you were in Playgirl magazine, so
Yeah.
you that's like the original dick pic.
Yeah.
I mean, you were doing dick pics before anybody else.
It was before cameras and shit, though. That was so long ago. It was like,
Now, that must have helped your sex life. No,
I mean,
Really?
I'm pretty good without.
were you
I don't
married when that was going on or no?
Yeah, I was married when that one went out.
Oh,
yeah.
that kind of sucks.
No, but it doesn't. Like, no one ever comes up. You got to remember who reads Playgirl. It's mainly gay men. It's not straight women. So it's like,
So were gay men coming on to you?
no, I mean, like I said, it was before like the whole internet craze and smartphones and all that. So you couldn't really get a hold of anybody. And I'm not answering the phone if I don't recognize a phone call. So
Did you get paid well for that or no?
yeah, I made a lot of money for a long time. I kept getting because then the footage became like internal stock footage, and if people wanted that photo, they have to pay, and I still get a residual check on it. So I got paid for a while on it. Yeah.
That's there you go.
Now it's like you can't. It's unrecognizable. Because I look so young. I have so many different tattoos now. You can't even tell it's me.
That's my dream.
What's that? You in Playgirl?
Yeah.
There's no such thing anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Serious?
gone. Yeah,
Playgirl's been going for a long time.
What's the next
And how do you know that, CB?
What?
How do you know what's going on?
Snapchat's the next best thing.
It's the same shit as Playboy. Doesn't have fucking naked photos in it anymore.
Yeah. You stop getting back.
I'm really reading for the articles.
Yes.
Why are we doing the locked bathroom with the water running?
So, Gabe, any new chicks in your life or no?
Yeah, I've been dating here and there. Seen this a lawyer chick?
A lawyer with you? Was she representing you, or like what?
No.
She's secretly planning on deporting him.
I mean, you're a comic / MMA oddsbreaker writer
Slash.
live with your parents. A lawyer chick, is she like?
Hold on. Back
I got
up.
a lawyer
Back
and
up.
a doctor in my life right now.
Really?
Yeah.
What, go
Don't
on.
lay that one up. You live with your parents?
I live here in East Coast. I go back and forth, but here I'm with my parents. Yeah.
And the East Coast, live with your grandparents?
Well, right now I'm in Sterling's house in Kington.
Aljamain's house. Yeah. Okay, so you're living in their in their house, and then. But I'm saying, now, how do you pick up a lawyer with that? Like, do you drop that late? How often?
I talk to him.
Really?
That's the game, man. Adam. That's why you always strike out. You don't know how to talk
I'm
to
engaged.
a chick.
But let's say
He can't talk to a chick. Have you ever seen him talk to a chick? Even his girlfriend now, he talks to her. He still can't talk to her.
That's true. But at what point do you tell the girl I live with my parents, who's a lawyer or a doctor?
When they ask, I usually ask them about their living situation, and they ask mine. I tell them I don't give a shit.
And then now, but you're on a date and you go, I live with my parents. Is it game over or no?
The chicks have not gone out with me a couple of times for that, but usually it's not.
Yeah.
See, well, there's a spin. You go, I technically live with my parents, but I'm also taking care of them. That's why I'm staying there, because it's a house I grew up in.
I help out.
Yeah. It's the house I was born and raised in. I've lived there for years. My parents need some financial help, so that's why I'm staying in the house.
So you help out by having them pay rent?
It's something like that.
That's not what you tell the chick. I'm talking about this is what you tell the chick.
Right. Of course. I'm asking. So you help out your parents?
Yeah.
How? By offering them weed? And how are you helping them out?
Financially.
Are you really?
Yeah. I help out with the rent here and there.
Oh, here and there?
Yeah.
How often?
When he loses on fights, he doesn't pay rent.
That was pretty good, CB. How often do you help them out?
Like maybe 3-4 months out of the year, I'll pay the whole rent.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
There you go. No, but they probably own the house, right? So there's actually no rent?
No, it's like a 2-story apartment.
Oh, nice.
Apartment, yeah.
There you go. All right.
See, there's your story. I got to take care of that's why I'm living with my parents.
But
My house is being rebuilt in New York, so that's why I'm staying with my friend.
I gotta say though, Gabe does when he wins parlays, because he usually has 5 different parlays. He's had some $15,000 weekends. Like he does really well, right? Did you win last week or no?
No.
What happened?
He bet on Chael.
No, UFC.
I think I had one that Juliana Pena busted.
Oh yeah.
You really the Pena was going to win?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had her by decision too.
Now, how often do you?
That was a good bet.
It was plus 450. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Now
that was the only one that busted on your parlay was just hers.
Yeah.
And what would you have won?
It was like a few grand, but I was risking kind of small.
So now, how often do you think the person's going to lose, but the bet is so good you actually still bet it? Does that happen a lot?
I don't think
every time Conor McGregor fights the other guy. It's such a good line. I might as well bet on it. Who cares?
Yeah, I had $100 on Ronda losing and Joanna losing, and $100 would have got me 14,000 the first time. And I was like, and I go on. I'm in Santa Barbara. I'm watching the fight. Joanna loses the first round. I go on stage. I go to stage. They go, Ronda lost. I'm like, fuck yeah. And then I find out she lost Joanna won the next 4 rounds. Like, fuck her, you know.
You want me to give a parlay for this weekend?
Yeah, let me hear it.
I like Dennis Bermudez.
Over Korean Zombie, I agree.
Alexa Grasso.
Over Felice, yep.
Tisha Torres.
Over Beck. Yeah, but those are all favorites. Except for
and I like, for coin flips, I like James Vick and Nico Price.
So what would $100 on those 5 get me?
It's like 900, I think.
See, that's the thing about MMA. I feel like the odds, they don't have it down to a science yet. Like football and basketball, a line will be 4 points, and it's always like a 5. It's like fuck. But with MMA,
it's still a young sport. People don't realize, man. It's still it's been around in different kind of levels and different kind of names throughout but really, this inception of MMA really didn't start till '94.
But even like CM Punk, right? CM Punk was, I think, a 4-1 underdog. And I was talking to his training partners, and they were like, he's going to get fucking killed.
Yeah.
But still.
Except for one.
That shouldn't even, except for Bilal. But that even so, how could that even be a line? Like, it should have been like off the books. If his training partner is saying he's gonna get killed, everyone who trained with him says he's gonna get killed.
But the public didn't know that though. It's the public betting mostly.
Yeah.
Moving the line.
The wrestling, dumb wrestling
his
fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they bet a lot.
Now you called out CM Punk,
I didn't call him out. I just said I don't know why he's fighting. Like
but you said you would fight him.
Yeah, I'd fight him. Who the fuck wouldn't?
Fucking Miles would fight him.
But like right now, you fight him still.
Yeah, no problem. Like, you fucking kidding me? Like, why wouldn't you fight that guy? He's a 40-year-old hard-lived guy. Like, he's had a lot of bumps, a lot of hits, smashed on the ground a lot of times, trying to do something brand new. Come on, man. Like, it's like me trying to box Mayweather. Would I do it? Fuck yeah, I'd do it. I'm probably getting knocked out in the sixth, even if I ran for the first 5.
Bro, I hit that guy up.
Hi, Mayweather at 147, and you're what 200?
Yeah, he'd fucking still. He
would knock you out.
He'd probably still knock me out. Yeah.
CM Punk's like a lottery win though, because he's a sell. For some strange reason, he's a draw. So if you get that fight, you're getting a nice fucking payday, even if it's not on the front disclosed. It's on the back end.
You're getting money. So yeah, of course you fight that guy.
Anybody would take that fight. That's why
what,
Jason Ellis wants it.
Yeah, well, I think Ellis wins. Who do you think wins, by the way, Wonder Boy or Woodley? The rematch.
That was tough, man. It was so close to the first one. And I got to give it to Woodley or Wonder Boy in the second one, but I really like Woodley's shot. I think he learns so quickly. When he fights a guy, he's better the next time. Like he learns very fast. He's been that way since college and wrestling. Like, he might lose you earlier in the season, but he's got your number come late. He just knows how to beat you and figure your game out. But come on, man. Wonder Boy has got some random crap that comes out of nowhere that you can't practice for. It just, he's just standing there right in front of you. He's like in the pocket. He's barely in the elbowing range.
But he's bringing a Northcutt. You don't think bringing in Say's Northcutt?
Woodley's training with Northcutt. I don't think there's
that's
any.
fine though, because you got somebody to beat up on. That's fine.
But I don't think Northcutt's
a great guy to beat him up. You can't find anybody to train for Woodley. Like, who are you going to find? Who's a short, squat, super explosive wrestler out there right now besides Woodley that you were like, I could bring that guy in to train for Woodley?
Oh, there's a lot of Ed Ruth.
Nope, that doesn't mimic Woodley style.
Kamal Usman.
Nope, Kamal doesn't have the same style. You can name a lot of wrestlers, but none of them mimic his style.
You think Woodley's getting a little too mental with the whole racism thing right now?
Well,
he's coming on pretty heavy, and it's
remember,
just
he's
weird.
A street kid. You got to remember, he's a street kid that has success. Like, he's a hood rat to begin with, and through wrestling he got his shit together and became a better man, a better human. Then started fighting, became a great husband, a great father, and now with this money coming in, he's like, wow, I really have made it. Like, I am in a different space. But he's also remembering those guys he needs to influence. He remembers how he looked up to other people in the community when he was growing up. So now he's in the same thing. So when things were going through, was it Ferguson who was having the riots where he's from? He was really vocal about it because he remembered people being vocal when he was coming up. He wants to be in the same space, but it comes down to those guys that like Chael. We keep talking about Chael. He can never get back to the level that he was at because he has too many things that take him away from fighting. This is what this thing now that where Tywin really believes that he's a role model and wants to live up to that space. So as a result, he's being pulled away. Yeah, he may make practice every time. He may never skip a practice, make every session, do all that stuff. But there's still, when you're being pulled away to different spaces, it does kind of wear on you. And then he's dealing with a big, heavily mental, socially awkward problem right now with racism. And so it's going to wear on him mentally. And so that does factor into.
At the same time, I think that certain people, whether it's a comic, actor, fighter, singer, they're better when they have a chip on their shoulder. And I think Tyron is one of those guys, when he has something to prove, he seems to rise to the occasion.
Yeah.
Other people, they fall apart. Yeah. Rhonda, or whoever, So I think with Tyron, it's a little different. I know with me, comedy-wise, if you piss me off before a show, or a heckler pisses me off on stage, I'm like, all right, motherfucker, let's do this. And I zone in on it.
Those are my favorite shows of yours.
I'm like, all right, let's fucking do it. Yet when I'm like fucking lolly-lolly to a show and I'm not really thinking about the show, or it's like, I remember one of my favorite fights was Mayorga versus when Mayorga knocked out Vernon Forrest. Oh, no. Vernon Forrest. Forrest had beaten Mosley badly. I was there. He killed Mosley, and when he fought Mayorga, he was rapping on the way to the ring, and he was celebrating. I remember Larry Merchant being like, he was doing a victory dance during his walk to the ring, and you don't do that when you're coming to a fight. And so there's a guy who it distracted him. Tyron Woodley, I think that the hate, the fuel, it really gets to him. The problem that I have with so much problems with, but a lot of times these online hecklers, online trolls, they're really racist. So, not all of them, but you get 1 out of every 7 that says shit to Woodley that's legitimately racist. It's not you're too cocky or you're arrogant or I don't like your attitude or Woodley's you're gonna get caught. All those things are kind of okay about it, but people start calling them the N-word or calling them monkey, whatever the hell they start saying, that shit fucking fuels. And he's right to be fueled by that. And I think Woodley takes him in the ring.
But
I do. I think Woodley wins this fight. I don't know why. I thought he was going to beat Robbie Lawler. I think Wonder Boy, he's got a good chin, but man, he got caught by Ellenberger. He got stopped by Matt Brown, and Woodley puts his hands on you and.
That's even though, like he's saying, if I was white, the UFC would have promoted me more, and they're not promoting me as the champ, and they did more
They're right.
with Robbie Lawler.
He's actually right.
No, I know, but it's just like, do you think, like...
I don't think it's because he's white.
In his head?
I don't think it's because he's not white, but I do think that they're missing an opportunity to promote a bona fide star.
It's not the first time, and it won't be the last.
No, it won't. But I understand why he'd be pissed off that Paige Van Zandt is headlining a Fox card when she's coming off... a 1-1 record.
It has nothing to do with race, though. It's just popularity. I mean, Johnny Hendricks didn't get a push either.
No, the UFC has like certain people behind the thing going, we're going to push this person, and it's not fair to the Tyron Woodleys, to the Kevin Lees. It's also not fair to the Robbie Lawlers, or it's not fair to the the Dominic Cruzes, or
even Stipe right now.
Stipe Miocic is a perfect example of like
baddest man on the planet is nobody knows who the fuck he is.
You ask anybody you ask 99,000 out of 100,000 people who's Steve Miocic, they won't know who he is. And then you go, hey, did he they will never know that he's a guy who played 2 sports in college. That is insane.
But who's Brock Lesnar? Everybody knows.
But they're not going to know who Stipe is.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Complete bullshit.
They're not promoting him. There's a bunch like that.
At the same time, it's like, also, can they be promoting themselves better?
Yeah, I mean, part of it is you got to, no one likes to do the small, under 50,000 listener podcasts, and no one wants to go and listen to the radio show that's in the middle of Terre Haute, Indiana. But you have to realize that every time you do one of those things, like you're available for like media, whatever, that's you're going to get at least one more person that's going to follow you from that interview. It might not be, you might have to do 50 a year to get 50 more followers, but you're going to get one more follower. And every time that you post something, they're going to resonate to it. They're going to start listening to it. They're going to pay attention to it. Good or bad, doesn't matter. You want people to pay attention to you. Stipe doesn't do too much social networking at all that I really see. He's still a blue collar, won't quit his day job as a fireman, like still has that whole game plan, which is a huge sell. Like this guy is out still going to burning houses. Like there's your push. Like screw the fact that he still kicks somebody's ass in the heavyweight division, but give him the push that he's still a fireman. Like he's basically first responder. That's one step below being military. He's still active duty right now and doing it, doing it 4 days a week, and they don't have any push for him. So it's a tough situation with a guy like Stipe where he could get the push, but because he doesn't really do much on his own to push himself, it doesn't really work. And like I can understand their point from the UFC, like why are we going to push a guy that's not really pushing himself? He's not really talking. He's not really doing stuff. But with Tyron is fucking everywhere in social media. This man he has a huge footprint in social media, and they are not pushing him. And I'm looking at it going, this makes no fucking sense.
And he's a movie star.
It must be racist. Like you can't look at anything else. It is a racist card that they're playing. That's exactly what they're doing because he is on social network. He pushed himself.
Well,
been in movies.
What black fighter have they ever really pushed?
I was about to say even Demetrius. They're not really pushing that hard.
Rampage,
John Jones. And then look what happened.
Rampage had a following prior.
Yeah,
Rampage had a huge following prior from WFA and Pride.
Japanese female reporter following is what he had.
Yeah.
Even Cormier, they're kind of like, even with the whole John Jones gets the winner, and they're only thinking about down the road. And Demetrius, pound for pound, #1 guy on the planet, arguably. Yeah. He has a cult following because of his Twitch stream. He plays the video games all the time, and he's a big social media presence. But like, this guy's the only man to ever hold that title.
I was at a club one time with him, and he was dancing with his wife, his beautiful wife.
Super sexy. Love that girl.
The entire time was on Twitch.
Yeah.
Like, like people were watching him dance
on Twitch. Yeah,
and I was like, it was one of the strangest.
Isn't Twitch paid too? Don't you have to like pay to join somebody's channel?
I don't think so now. Okay. It might have changed recently because I thought I saw some of that.
There's another guy that plays games. It's a gamer that's on Twitch too.
Max Holloway's on there.
Jorgensen?
Joe Lozon's on there. Jorgensen.
Scotty. I was talking to him and he was like I was interviewing him. He was playing a game while I was interviewing him.
Yeah.
He was on Twitch at the same time. So I was like, what the? And he was answering my questions like, no problem. Like, no hiccups, no problem. He's just playing his game.
Holloway's on almost like every night. Demetrius, like, they just play video games and people watch and they talk to him. And
it's great. No, yeah, it's cool. It was just strange, though, to see someone at a club on their phone, people watching. It was a whole...
No, it's not. Like, people, you can do that...
Periscope and Instagram Live, Facebook Live.
What's that thing now? Your story on Instagram. You can do that shit all the time. People watch it. People dedicate themselves to looking at your stories. Like,
I know.
You had 12-year-olds telling you, why aren't you on Instagram Live? You're only on Facebook Live.
I know. That's true. By the way, Mark Hunt, Overeem. Who wins?
Hunt, he actually likes to fight. He actually really enjoys the fight. He doesn't get overwhelmed. Doesn't matter if you look better and look fitter and look all that. And he's got a big coconut for a head. Like, you can smack that guy in the head with I literally think you can hit him in the forehead with a baseball bat, full swing. And it'll kind of it'll be a little dazed. You're like, all right, fucker, now we're gonna go. You're like, that's swing. Like,
run away screaming.
Have you ever trained with him?
No. But of course, working for Pride for as long as I did, I had an experience to talk with him and hang out with him and stuff. And he's a really nice, sweet gentleman. Overspends his money a little bit. Like, I think he lives too much of a high lifestyle, but because he really loves drift cars, and so he spends a lot of money on drift cars, and loves them. God, and he's a good driver. He's a pretty decent driver. He's not a great driver, but a pretty decent driver.
Now, one of your ex-training partners, Vitor Belfort, fighting Kelvin Gastelum.
That was a tough one for Belfort because Gastelum is, even though he's never making weight and should move up a weight class. And
He is.
I know that, but he's like, I'm only doing it for a short time. He's like, he won't commit to being up, but it's like, dude, you're crushing it up there. Like, stay put. It's a tough fight for Vitor. He's fallen off, and now you're part of the USADA clan. You're off.
No, but does that actually, because the fight's in Brazil?
Doesn't matter. You still get pre-fight drug tests.
They're regulating.
They got a commission out there.
Yeah.
And Vitor's by himself in his camp now. There's nobody.
What was the training with Vitor like? Was he a nice guy? Was he crazy? No,
selfish. Like, wants the space for himself. Wants all the coach's attention. And when he doesn't get it, he gets kind of frustrated and leaves. Like, he'd be at Shin Couture and he'd leave and go over to back then it was a tap out gym. It's called
Syndicate now.
Syndicate.
No. Before Syndicate was around.
Right.
He'd go over there and train, and he didn't and for a while it worked out for him. He didn't like that, and then he'd go to Syndicate, and he wasn't really the attention he wanted from Syndicate, so he bounces around. He keeps playing these games until he finds where he gets everything himself. Like, that's what he wants, is everything on his own.
How's the sparring? Was he trying to knock you out, or?
No, he's a good sparring partner. He's a good sparring partner. He's a good drill partner. He's a good partner. Yeah, as a whole. He knows that if you try to turn it up too much, you're going to turn it up back on him. He doesn't. No one wants to be turned up in practice. Like, it's practice. You're trying to train for a fight. You're going to have goes where you're going to go really hard, but you really don't want to like hurt your partner so bad that he's indefensible and you have to knock him out. You got to break his arm. If you catch him by accident because you get a real good corner and you can crack him down the center and he's not expecting it, and you put him down. That's different than like, I'm going to fucking kill you today. You do it, and every day you're like that. Your partners, when partners want to train with you, it's going to be game on. Like, they're coming hard too now, because I know if I don't go hard on you, you're going to hurt me. So I have to go hard on you to keep from getting hurt, so I can do another round. Otherwise, I'm going to have to sit out for a week because I got a concussion. So you go after him. So no one wants to really go game hard like that. So Vitor's smart, and he goes hard. Like, he's not going to he'll kick you if you let him. He'll split your liver open if you stand there and let him. You got to not let him. So it's good training with him now.
Now Koscheck. Guy has another fight coming up.
His Bellator debut against Mauricio Alonso.
Who's that?
He was a prelim fighter at the first Dynamite, which was about a year and a half ago. Decent fighter, somewhat of a power puncher more than anything. I think he's out of Is he out of AKA?
I think so. That's what
he might still be there. I think it's a can fight for Koscheck. I think it's just an easy debut for him because he's been out so many times.
Has he been knocked out 4 times in a row now?
He was 0-5, I think, in his last 5 in the UFC, 4 by finish or 5 by finish. I know Ellenberger choked him out.
But what are we doing here? I mean, this is just seems.
It's payday now. It's payday. Like, here in Bellator, you're getting paid.
Do you see how much shit he has? He has a giant boat. He's got a huge ass house. Like,
do you still have that?
And the cars in San Jose too.
Yeah,
So it's up.
but I
it's
think
not too
he's
far.
actually hated more in his hometown than he is. Like, I think
Well,
better
he's
on the
he's
road.
in Fresno now.
He's in Fresno.
Yeah, he's in Fresno because he left AKA because of Javier Mendez, and then he started the whole thing in Fresno and dethroned base camp. But they're putting him on the card. I mean,
So I interviewed Cheetah before his last fight, and I'm like, dude, you have a pretty high overhead. You got that house, you got the boat, you got the Rolls Royce, you got all these things. Like, how are you going to retire? Like, what are you going to do next? Like, punishment clothing's not like it used to be. So it's like there's no huge amount of money coming in from that. Like, so what's the deal? He's like, I got smart. I paid cash for the rolls. I paid cash for the house. And I paid cash for the boat. I have no overhead. All I have to do is keep the electric on, keep gas in the boat. He goes, I'm good. Like, I'm totally fine. Koscheck has a high overhead too, but hasn't paid everything off yet, so he's still fighting. That's part of the game plan. Like, if you get to that point where you kind of paid off some stuff, you're like, I see the end of the tunnel. If I get like another $300,000, I can pay everything off and I can just be done and I own everything and be out of the way. If you see that light in the tunnel, you'll keep fighting. I don't know what his numbers are. I'm just making numbers up for Josh, but to me it seems like he's still fighting because he sees the light at the end of the tunnel and just wants to keep battling it out till he gets completely free and clear.
Yeah, those last few UFC fights, you took them one after another after not fighting for a couple years.
I know. I just hate seeing. I remember watching Koscheck wrestle, and he was such a star.
Yeah, he was a star.
And he was such a star in the beginning of his career, even an Ultimate Fighter and GSP.
Yeah.
And then you see him getting just knocked the fuck out by Woodley, choked out by
Lawler,
Ellenberger,
knocked him
knocked
out.
out by Lawler, and you go, all right, this is not, what I want to see. My hero, not that he's a hero, but the guy I looked up to. And maybe he'll beat him and he'll look great. And then I like the fact they're not giving him Paul Daly.
But that's going to be next.
I like the fact that they're not.
Yeah, Paul's going to be next, yeah.
But
I
I
don't
like the
think
fact
so.
they're not.
They already had
Paul's already asking for it.
they already had that matchup booked, and
I
Koscheck got
talked to him at
injured.
the hotel. He said he didn't want it right
I talked
after
to him
his
right after
fight
the
with
fight.
Brennan Ward. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
talking.
I was
He
sitting
said
there.
Koscheck needs a few to get there, and I think it's going to take more than.
Yeah, they're going to say, man.
I was standing right there when he asked the brass for Koscheck.
I think he deserves
a.
a. I
If
think
Koscheck wins, I want to fight Koscheck.
I think Daly
That's
possibly get a
that's
title shot.
that's
That's what I thought too.
That's a terrible night for Koscheck.
Yeah, hold on.
I mean,
He'll be in there a little bit. He'll be game for a little bit, and then flying knee comes through and his face falls off.
I don't want to see Koscheck versus Rory, Daly.
They won't. Roy's too high,
or
too high
Michael
end
Venom
right
Page.
now.
I mean, it just seems like, and
MVP will embarrass him.
it'll be terrible.
He'll embarrass him.
So Bellator does a great job with the gimmick fight. Like they've always found a way to make things work with the gimmick fight. Now that they've got Fedor and Mitrione fighting, and they're doing all this back and forth with Bama now. There's Bellator and Bama out of England, and there's Bellator and Ryzen. So like they've got these crossover like big whole matches that before 5-6 years ago you would never see. Just to take what Fedor was his heyday, and Mitrione is like a top 3 heavyweight in the world. Like you would never see that fight, you never see that matchup because with two different organizations, it's too problematic. Now with Scott Coker at the helm, you're going to see these matchups, and so it's going to be great.
I mean, I think Mitrione's just going to murder Fedor, though.
It's tough to tell which Matt is showing up. The trained Matt that's spent some time like, actually doing shit.
I've seen him recently. He looks good.
I've seen him too. He always looks good.
But the Fedor that fought Fabio was rough.
Yeah, he's old and was distracted and had all that thick going on.
And he also had a bad game plan. And if he took him down and like right off the gate, he would have submitted him in a minute.
Easy.
What's the fight what's the fight that you've always wanted that you wish you got?
BJ Penn. Yeah, BJ and I, and not that I don't like BJ. BJ and I are friends. Like we've been friends since even when we fought. It's just like at the time, BJ was the phenom. He was the guy that everybody wanted to beat, and I was like, he's going up to every weight class. And at the time, I was in my prime. I wanted to test myself. Like I just wanted to see, like, is my prime just because I'm the second best? Because I can't ever beat Matt? Is that what it is? And I'm just the best of a bunch of shitty people? Or am I actually a really good guy, and what's going to happen? And so I wanted to fight BJ to kind of test that game. And we both tried. We tried to make it happen. Just never worked out.
Are you and Matt friends now? You guys cool?
We're acquaintances. I mean, we'll talk. I mean,
he's tough, right?
What do you mean?
I mean, like, he's just a very, like, killing animals, and it seems like...
I don't mind all that. I actually love it. I love the fact that he likes guns. I'm a huge gun supporter. I love guns.
Yeah, I don't mind killing animals for, like, food.
Yeah, he does. He takes and eats everything.
Some of those pictures, he didn't seem like he was eating a rhino or whatever.
Yeah, he kills, like, African safari type animals.
Whatever.
Come on.
Who cares?
I do.
Why do you care? What have you done for the rhinos? What have you physically done to go help the rhino population?
Well, I banged a couple. I have 3 animals.
That's not helping the rhinos.
Animals in general.
That fucking.
I'm a friend of the animals.
Are you vegetarian?
No.
You're wearing a leather coat. So what the fuck are you talking about?
I don't like the animals.
What the fuck are you talking about?
No, I do like animals. Okay.
So
if he was gonna eat them, I'd say it's one thing. Okay.
He's going to these reserves in Africa, which is totally legal. They raise these animals to be hunted. That's how they're being raised inside these open ranges.
But it's one thing.
And then he's paying. He walks in and he's paying a bunch of money. I'm thinking for around, I think it's like 25 grand or 20 grand. He probably got a sponsor. Well, it wasn't out of his pocket, but he's doing a hunting show and shit like that. So I'm sure they're paying for it. But there's a fee involved to go in and hunt these animals. And then that guy, that one dentist that got yelled at for killing the lion, he went there and paid for it and vilified him for killing the lion.
Yeah, fuck him.
Well, hold on a second. He went onto this fucking range, killed the fucking lion like you're supposed to as a hunter. He wasn't like hold it down, let me come over here and shoot it.
If Matt Hughes wants to go fight animals, okay, him versus the animal 1-on-1, we'll see how it goes. He has a gun. Okay?
No,
it's not fair.
You're an idiot.
I'm not an idiot.
We have a big brain, opposable thumbs. We're the top of the fucking food chain.
If I
want to go out there and blow up every goddamn cat around the Coliseum in Rome, I can fucking do that.
You're an asshole for doing that.
Because I have thumbs and a big ass brain.
Bullshit.
That's why.
No,
because
maybe those animals.
We are the top of the food chain.
So one thing, if you're eating them to survive, okay, and I think I am becoming a vegan. I just got to figure it out. Okay, however, all right, I don't think it's right to go just kill sport hunting. I think it's bullshit. I think it's guys with small dicks and they have to feel I'm superior and just come on, leave the fucking animal alone.
Why?
Because it's there. It's enjoying its life. It's nothing.
Are you sure? Are you sure it's enjoying its life? How do you know?
Because I asked it. I go every day. I hang out with the rhinos. They call me. No, I don't think that he should be able to go out and kill animals for fun. I don't like it when Trump's kids did it. I don't like when that asshole did it and fucking thing. It's one thing. If you want to go fight an animal, go pick a fight with a fucking bear. See how it goes. Okay, but don't have it fair. So don't bring a fucking gun to the octagon.
You're a complete fucking hypocrite and a complete retard.
No, I'm not.
You literally have your hand inside of a leather pocket of your jacket right now. What the fuck do you think they did with that? How do you think they killed that cow for that damn jacket?
All right, you're right.
Or the sheep if it's lambskin.
You're right. I'm now changing my ways. I'm no longer buying leather. Okay, and I'm gonna go vegan or vegetarian, both of them. However,
both of them.
You can only pick.
I'm gonna do both of them.
I'm doing everything.
I'm doing it all.
Yes, I don't think it's right that he. I don't think it's cool he does that. I think the animals have nothing.
Okay, well it's an opinion piece. It's totally legal. What he does is totally fine. And I don't mind it at all. I actually enjoy it that he goes and does that.
You go and kill animals?
I haven't hunted in a while, but yeah, I will hunt. I fish all the time. I go deep sea fishing.
Or for sport?
To me, food is sport, fucker. Like I eat my shit. I catch and eat.
Gabe, what do you think about this?
I don't like for sport hunting, but I'm all for food hunting.
But that you guys are trying to make it like it's two different things. It's not.
Yes, it is.
Sport hunting and food hunting are the same fucking thing. You're not going out there. You can go to the grocery store. We live in a first world country. Go down the fucking street to Trader Joe's.
I do.
Okay, then the guy that's out there hunting is not because he can't go to the grocery store. He's out there sport hunting. If he eats the whole fucking thing like Joe Rogan does, eats the whole goddamn thing, all of a sudden it's okay?
He's not eating any of that.
Yes, he is. He's fucking I just saw a thing from the other day. He had a piece of bear that he caught. He was on his grill eating.
Yeah, but if you're not getting food out of it,
that was Khabib's bear.
No, I'm talking about Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan goes out.
I'm talking about Matt Hughes. Okay,
yeah.
Who does it?
Matt does the same thing. So the rhino he's probably not eating, but he goes out and everything else he hunts, he eats.
Well, if he wants to eat the food, I understand it. Okay,
but a lot of animals.
My point is, it's still sport hunting because you can go to the grocery store. You're not going out there because you're starving and have no food. You're going out there because you want to go hunt an animal. You want to do some sport hunting. Just because you eat it from the end to end does not make it not sport hunting. It's still sport hunting.
For fun hunting.
It's for fun hunting, yeah.
What the fuck do you think sports are?
I don't know. I don't like
you
it.
You guys are running in circles. What a bunch of
like
fucking...
it.
You don't like it? Then you're a vegan. The next time I see you eat any fucking dairy...
I will.
Right now.
You
got to throw the jacket out.
But because of that shit, some animals are going extinct, though.
Yeah, exactly.
So what?
So
the dodo's been extinct. Dinosaurs are extinct. Like fuck, it's not like
we weren't. No, you shouldn't be able to go. I leave them alone. They're fucking. A lot of these animals are peaceful animals. They're beautiful creatures.
Really?
Yes.
Then you need to move out of LA because this spot right here pushed a whole set of coyotes out in the outskirts. They're now attacking little dogs because you had to live in this fucking apartment. So you got to move out of town.
I didn't build.
You got to move out of town. Nope.
I didn't build the place.
You're paying the rent. You're paying the rent. Got to move out.
Fine. I'm moving to Culver City.
Oh, that's even worse. Live over there by them jack-offs. Come on, man.
I am. My girl works by there. CV, what's
you guys are actually moving together?
Yeah, we're going to move in together.
When?
We're married in June.
So, doesn't mean you have to live together.
You're moving into Culver City?
Yeah. Is that closer to you, right?
I don't think so. But
where do you live?
Hollywood.
Same distance.
My parents live 300 miles away from each other.
What do you think about hunting?
And they've been married 37 years.
What does that have to do with hunting?
Because you were talking about
I was talking about not living together, marriage. He knows.
My mom just kicked my dad out of the Mammoth house the other day.
That's so sweet.
So they're married, but they're not doing it.
I don't think they've done it in probably like 10, 12, 15 years. I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care. I have zero opinion. It doesn't affect me directly, so I don't care.
Believe me, if I'm going up to the Colorado I call it a cottage, but the Colorado fucking cabin that Couture has, that he built for his retirement home, he's got fucking 4 freezers full of elk that he caught. I'm going up there. I'm 100% eating elk. 100%.
If you eat it, I'd say it's okay.
Yeah, elk hunting is cool. Yeah.
If you eat it, I think it's okay. I don't think it's so good just to do it so that you get a fucking trophy.
I just don't get it.
I don't like trophy hunting. No, I don't like trophy hunting.
That's what I meant. The sport hunting, trophy hunting.
That's not what you meant. What you meant, you said sport hunting and you said feeding.
That's what we're talking about.
Nobody said shit about trophy hunting.
That's what I meant.
Right now, you said trophy hunting.
That's what we meant.
What times you say that?
No, we're right. You're wrong. So, Joe, what's your opinion on this?
He shoot.
Put it on your wall and not eat it.
Yeah.
That sucks. But if you're going to kill it, hunting in general it's very difficult, right? You know this. Bow hunting, gun hunting. So there's a lot of education that comes with it. Just like in fighting, you have to train yourself, and it takes a long time to get to level where you can actually kill a deer.
Yep.
And that's the whole sport of it. I think that's what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
So that's it. But if you're going to go out there and just kill like a deer and not do anything with it, just
fuck
take the antlers, put it on the wall, and leave the body there, and then it kind of sucks. It's kind of a dick.
Yeah,
how are you going to ask the guy that hunts whales on Tinder every day?
I got it.
There's nothing wrong with hunting whales on Tinder.
Yes, exactly. Why are you so smart with this, but retarded in every other aspect of your life?
Why do you have a bunch of grab bruises on your hand?
Yeah.
Somebody's fucking grabbing you like that in jiu-jitsu?
Track marks.
Yeah, that's not.
What the fuck does that even
All right,
mean?
That's our podcast. Listen,
that might be the end of our show.
Frank, you have anything coming up you want to plug?
No. I'm just, I'm always working and hunting and, doing some, like I said, I just got hit up to do some gig. I got a couple of acting roles that I got to finish my auditions for, do Self-Taste and send them in, and, just always hunting out and looking for the next, waiting for Andy Foster to give me my next assignment so I can ref. That's my life.
Nice.
Does he run all of California or just?
Yeah, he's the head commissioner for California State Athletic Commission.
So he could assign you to the Fedor Mitrione. I think you said that.
Yeah,
right?
I'm working that card.
Yeah,
I'm working that card. I'm just being on the undercard, which is where I belong. I don't belong. Like I think John already got the announcement. They usually announce who got the main event and the co-main event, but I also know where I'm going to be at.
And since you're a ref, you can answer this question. Do they sometimes assign like certain guys based on the size of the fighters themselves? No?
I had heavyweight. I had a heavyweight fight. I mean,
like they wouldn't put like Yves Levine on a heavyweight.
I take that back. They could. I don't know. I don't know if that happens. I don't know if that's how it does. It doesn't work for me. I've had heavyweight fights. I've had small girl fights. It just depends on where the hierarchy is. But you've seen Big John ref Demetrius Johnson.
No, I mean the other side of like the giant fighters. You're not going to put like Kim Winslow in there who can't do anything. The only reason I asked, there's like one example I remember was when Vanderlei got knocked out by Rampage in UFC, and whoever was the ref, I think it was Mazagati Yamasaki, they were like shoving him, and they couldn't get him off, and he just keeps nailing Vanderlei in the face.
Well, that's a positioning issue. So one of the things, and I've actually taught at Herb Dean's reffing course, and one of the things they teach you is positioning. For how not only do you have to know how to stop, you have to be experienced. This is the reason why a lot of refs are bad, because they don't do jiu-jitsu. They don't roll and no gi. They don't get it. So when a guy has an armbar on, they don't know what you have to do to break the armbar. Like you go in there and you have to like get the armbar off. So you have to like jam it into the bicep and push the elbow back down so it doesn't get hyperextended anymore. You got to pull the hands apart because some guys don't want to stop. You have to like physically rip it apart. So if a guy and we're top bottom position, guys on top rain down blows, and when you have to come between them to stop the fight. You don't come on top and yell stop and try to catch his arms from hitting them. You have to like get your body in the way. So that was a bad positioning thing. Like it happens all the time. The fight I was talking about earlier, beginning of the podcast, he was in the game. All of a sudden he's getting cracked. There's two heavyweights. I had to jump in between them. You take the risk of getting punched, but you have to get in the middle of it. And you just run in there and you shove them off. You run and get your body in between. You elbow them off. And
is that the Jack made Dave Cryer fight?
That's it. Yeah, that was the fight.
Jack made Dave Cryer.
You get in there and you got to get in there and jump off.
And it was quick too. Yeah. Jack May finished him real fast.
Yeah, got him down. It was 43 seconds or 41 seconds.
Yeah.
And that's just one of the things. It's positioning, and you have to know when the triangle's on. You have to know how to break the guy's legs apart. Like you got to know how to rip guys out of certain positions when a guy's in a darce. You have to know which way to go to get him off the darce. even though you're yelling, stop, it's over, you got to start ripping hands out because you don't want that guy to be caught in that position any longer, especially if he's tapping. Because that means he has reached his limit. You don't know what his limit is.
Yeah.
I don't know this. I don't know you personally.
Yeah.
I may train with you. I may work out with you every day, but I still don't know where your limit is.
Oh, of course.
You might be like, fuck it, take it, break it. And then I'm like, okay, I'm waiting for it to break. And then once it breaks, then I stop it. But if you're like tapping, you have reached your limit. I got to get you out of there as fast as possible.
And like a knockout too, you've had to like grab guys or just shove them off, like stop hitting this
Ray
dude.
Cooper. I fought his dad, Ray Cooper II. I now ref his son, Ray Cooper III, and his last fight he had a 4-second knockout last weekend. 4 seconds.
Wow.
It was literally like, you ready? Bang! Smacked him. One punch, fight was over. Guy was starched, laying right down. Wave it off, right? But the fight before that, he fought for about a minute and 10 seconds, and he took the guy down, got on top, and just started like the old school Dave Monet, Phil Baroni, like that machine gun punching. He was doing that guy's head on the canvas, and there was no way he was going to stop until he was shoved off. I had to take a shot. Like I had to plant both my feet and take a real wrestling shot and run into him and throw his little ass off him into the cage. Like,
wow.
He was not gonna stop.
So this guy's going to be pretty good, huh?
And he's going to be great.
Ray Cooper?
Yeah, Ray Cooper III. He's going to be really good. But that's the thing is positioning. To go back to your original question, you have to be in the right spot at the right time. There's a lot of shit that goes on. After every fight, I get yelled at. Every fight, I get yelled at. Especially if John McCarthy's working because he is legitimately my mentor in reffing. So he nitpicks every little fucking thing I do, every little space, where my eyes are at, where my hands are at, where am I looking, what am I paying attention to? He'll stop and ask you, okay, at this time in the fight, where was the head table? Oh, at that point, the head table's behind me. At that point, the head table's to my right. You got to know where the head table is all the time in case you call time. You got to look at the head table to call time, to let them know. So you have to know where that is the entire time. He's like, were you out of the camera's way? Were you blocking people off? Were you able to see, like, the whole bit? How do you blade? Like, for me, I got to stand sideways a lot of times and look at it. So the cameras can get their angle across. I'm not in there squaring out. There's a bunch of shit that goes on when you're reffing. So you really have to know position. And that's the problem with a lot of the older refs that have been reffing but never really learned the sport. They're not in the right position. The fights are getting faster. The fighters are getting better. It's becoming a problem. And so, that's how I got in.
So, Gabe, any comedies coming up?
Nothing in the books right now.
Anything CB coming up?
Nope.
Great. All right. Tonight I will be at the Figuera Mountain Brewing in Arroyo Grande. Tomorrow night in Bakersfield, Elements venue. Saturday night in Merced. Dime Bar every Monday and Tuesday. The Casablanca Casino in Mesquite on February 10th. Iguana Lounge in the Iguana Lounge in somewhere. February 18th. And Pico Rivera at the Iguana Lounge. I'm at the Laugh Factory in Hollywood the 22nd. February 23rd, Laugh Factory Long Beach. Mandalay Bay Casino, February 24th. South Point Casino, February 24th. The Dirty at 30, it's a 12:30 show. And March 1st, I'm doing stand-up comedy at the Stratosphere at the LA Comedy Club. Mike Pyle is making his stand-up comedy debut, as well as Dean Thomas is on the show. So me, Mike Pyle, Dean Thomas, come Mandalay Bay. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you to our sponsors, American Icon Autographs, AIASE.com, as well as Tip a Fighter. Joe, anything coming up?
March 30th, Flappers.
March 30th, Flappers.
21st birthday show.
21st birthday. Girls.
Let's get this kid shit-faced.
Okay, let's get him blown. Chicks, come to the show. Blow Joe. Okay, thank you guys so much for listening to the show. Thank you, Frank Trigg. Thank you, Rashad Evans. Take care. Bye.